I don't know whether that's always the best solution to the problem, but it helps me so much. Because, you know, when you drink, you have a tendency just not to feel a fucking thing. Like, you feel no pain whatsoever. Emotionally speaking, anyway. You feel no pain. It numbs your heart, you turn a little bit bitter, and you turn into an asshole. Did I say that? Did I say that? Yes, I definitely did. Just wanted to clarify. I was pretty sure I said it, but just wanted to make sure. Oh god. Let's refresh the page. So now I have to put the new content ID in, I presume? I think? Is that how it works? Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Let me just check. So now I have to put the new content on? Yep, okay, that one. Emotional instability and psychological fuckingness. It's always that way, isn't it? Why the fuck does everybody pick on me? No, it's not that. I just sometimes have that perception, I guess. Maybe it's just the way I feel sometimes that people pick on me. Guess you get that mentality when you've been bullied your entire fucking life that you think everybody is picking on you in certain situations when it comes to your psychological outlook on life. So, it didn't show up. Oh, it did. Oh, fuck. Isn't that amazing? Holy shit! Fantastic balls of fire, bitch. It's amazing. Oh, you're fucking serious. It actually worked. Huh. Wow. Holy shit. Well, hit me over the fucking head with a fucking shovel and bury me in the backyard. Holy fuck, it actually worked for a change. That is fucking amazing. Oh my god. Shit me not. That's hilarious. Alright. You know what? That's hilarious and at the same time ironic. It's like I've been sitting there this entire time talking about shit that doesn't work, and then all of a sudden it just goes bang and it works like a fucking marble, and I'm like, yeah. Wow. Just inside. Oh shit. Every day of my life I die a little more inside. Whether it's through food consumption or fucking some other type of thing. Alcohol, you know, and things of that nature. Ah, Jesus Christ. Right, that's amazing. Oh my fucking god. It's not even God, it's just oh my fucking universe. Seriously. Oh, fuck, right. Okay. That actually works. That's amazing. Woohoo! And I love heavy metal. Woohoo! And I'm not easy. Oh, so what is this doing? Is this gonna... Holy shit. Everything seems to be actually working. Like my sound was cutting out before. Holy shit. Holy shit! No, actually, what I actually ended up doing in the first place is I went into my Elgato settings. It was adjusted so it couldn't see the webcam and stuff, the Elgato software in question. I had readjusted some of the rules in my antivirus. Then I went back into that, and I came out of that, and I checked the settings to see if everything was encoding correctly, because I wanted everything to encode directly off my video cards, which is always the best way to do it, especially if you have two fucking video cards in SLI like I do. So I adjusted that, and I put it on that setting, and now everything's just hunky fucking dory. Jesus, wow. Damn, son. Damn, son. That's just amazing. It really is. Like, that's... Oh, but I think I had every right to yell at it at the time, because it was just like, fuck! And I am a bit of a control freak. That's another issue I have too. It's all good. Jesus. Fucking Christ. Alright. when I was 17, I drank some very good beer, which I purchased with a fake ID. My name was Brian Monkey. Down in your heart today. And if the devil don't like it, he can sit on attack. He can sit on attack. Sit on attack. Do 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 do. Right. That is amazing though that that's actually all working now. I'm actually okay. I'm sort of amazed, but I think it was a little bit to do with my antivirus. My antivirus is extremely overprotective because I figure if I'm getting drunk and I'm doing online stuff, if I get drunk and I have a bit of a smoke or something like that, I figure I idiot-proof stuff to a certain extent. In the sense of, like, if I click something, I'm gonna get something that's gonna kick up in the first place and tell me, oh, this is a nasty ass virus or something like that, or it comes up in front of my screen. I have the same thing too. As I said, I've always been on the air of the side of caution is be overprotective about what's on your computer. I've always been adamantly that way because I've got a ton of information on here, so it's just precautionary, and I'm paranoid. It's good to be paranoid. Not a bad thing, honestly. Saying that, I do reveal some things. I mean, I don't have a problem posting on my Facebook sort of hobby business page that I have schizophrenia, that I have the conditions that I have. I've never had a problem telling the people the truth because I don't think it's inherently a bad thing. Oh, somebody's messaging me. Right, back to where I was. I normally would be broadcasting on Facebook at this point, but I don't. I cross-reference some of that stuff. Sometimes I'll broadcast on Facebook, sometimes I won't. It depends on how I'm feeling too. Actually, I want to point something out on my Facebook, for anybody who's interested. It's my nephew Jacob. He did a big ass long status today about the stuff that, well, if everybody knows, it was a thing that Pauline Hanson came out, which she said she believes kids with autism should be segregated from the rest of the population. I went through his entire text and I was quite impressed with what he had to say. Not only that, but I was quite impressed with the fact that he was very articulate about. I mean, he's much better with grammar and certain things than I am. I mean, okay, certain things, but his sentence structure's a little better sometimes when he's saying certain things, I guess. I mean, I'm more of a person who I'm better with my spoken word in most cases, but it looks like he went through and he was very he analysed what he said, not just that, but what he said was relevant, and not just that, but most of the stuff he said, he thought about it, he thought it out, you know. Okay, firstly, he thought about it. That was the first part of it. He actually thought it out. He placed it into his own mind. Obviously, he's taken the forethought of it, and he's taken his time on it too. That's another thing I think that I'm going to say ultimately he did also. And he had plenty of valid points about the fact that, segregating people with autism or, any type of mental issue into a separate class will always make them feel segregated or not part of the population. Not just that, but it will make them feel like they're not part of anybody at all. And I'm a strong Jesus Christ. I'm a strong advocate for that, and I always have been a fucking strong advocate for that. And I always will be a fucking strong advocate for it. The problem is that, not a lot of people have that perception. People perceive things different ways. People take things, however they want to, but the thing that I've learned in my entire time of having the conditions that I have, okay, in a list of what my conditions are: OCD, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression, Asperger's, and bipolar. Those are the things that I know that I have. And this is, some of it's through self-diagnosis. The other part is actually knowing that I was diagnosed with schizophrenia. I have medications behind me that sometimes help, sometimes don't. Depends on how I'm feeling. Be honest, I'd rather have a drink or get stoned. Still, my point is, all right. The point that I'm trying to make is, some of that stuff is relevant, and my family has a lot of these conditions themselves. They have to deal with them on a daily basis. It's not always easy. It's not always easy to deal with, and I speak from personal experiences of myself that I was segregated in high school, primary school and high school. I was segregated into separate classes, and it never helped me. It just made me, it just got me more bullied, to be honest. And that was kind of an issue I had. I really had a big issue for it, or a big issue with it, in the long run. It's not as if I've always had a problem with it, but this is my point. At the end of it, I've come to the conclusion in the long run that everybody handles things different ways, but I think some of the stuff that we see, the stigma, it's not just the stigma generally. It's the things that people are painted with when they do have a mental illness. Because of that, it makes you feel like you're not part of a group in general. You don't feel like you fit in anywhere, or you don't feel like you fit in any particular place. And this is the inherent problem that I've had my entire life, is trying to fit in with a particular group or a particular type of group. I mean, this is the thing. It's hard. It's never easy to get this stuff. It's just never easy. That's my point. But I wanted to point out my nephew. He put this status up, and it was about what Pauline Hanson said. So I'm just going to switch the screen for a second, if I can. Yes, there we go. So this is what he said. This is basically the entirety of what he said, which was, experienced, his amount of... I mean, this is my point. He's been bullied as much as I have, to a certain degree, and not just that, but even my other nephews have been bullied. And this is what he had to say about it. Now, he had a hell of a lot to say about it, right? I'll be honest. And I agree with a lot of the stuff that he said. Not just that, but I'm passing it on to other people so they know that it was said by him. Not just that, but I do believe he has a legitimate thing in the future to become an extremely good actor, and I do believe he has a lot of future potential. Not just that, but he's working towards that right now. I think he's doing some media courses and stuff at the moment, so he's doing some acting courses also. So Hanson backs school funding package, which... Now, Pauline Hanson, as I said, she came out and said that. Now, I'm not accusing her. Like, she said some things that I think, there's a few things maybe I might agree with that she said, but I don't agree with everything that she said when it comes to certain, certain segregations of things, and or whether it's segregating the population, or what, segregating people into different classes or whatever. That stuff, as I said, some of that stuff I'm going to sort of agree with. Some of it I'm going to agree with. Some of them I'm going to say, well, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, because I mean, to be honest, Pauline Hanson's always wanted to be one of those Australian political figures that is very controversial because of the fact that she's included racism in a lot of the things she said in the past. I mean, freaking hell, freaking, I mean, if Donald Trump's an example of that, I mean, supposedly a few of the things he said has actually come out as racist as well. But I mean, okay, it does come down to interpretation too. I mean, different interpretations to different people. The truth is that everybody's interpreted different. Like, everybody's interpreted different. And if a certain degree of your population is, say, has autism or whatever, they're going to interpret it one way, and then if people are on the normal spectrum of things, they're going to interpret it another way. And that's the problem with it initially, And that's what I found as a personal preference point for myself. I've always been one of these people who's been a strong advocate for disability rights. If you are disabled, or if you have issues with disabilities, you have the right to do the same things that normal people do. You have the right to get paid the same. You have the right to do, certain things you want to do. And the truth is, I think that's the thing that's ever got me, is that it's a bit of an issue with Australia, like in the way they treat some people with disabilities. But the truth is, I've seen some people out there who act pretty normal and pretty average, but the truth is they're the craziest cunts you'll ever meet, and they're on no medications whatsoever. They're on no medications. They have nothing to control them. They're out there, and that's all they are. You know what I mean? And the truth is, in the long run, that type of stuff, as I said, it's crazy to think this, but there's a certain percentage of the population who could be on some type of medication that aren't. They use other methods for, I guess, you know, getting themselves or fixing themselves up. But, you know, I've had some people that I get along with perfectly. I've had some fucking sociopathic people who I don't get along with perfectly, or I just, you know, they give me the absolute shits. There's also there's a mentality thing with guys. It's like, you have to... I used to fuck around with this guy. It was always constant, like, let's out-drink each other. Like, you know, like, literally, we get into competitions of out-drinking each other. On fucking Skype. And it was pretty much to see who could drink enough or how much your constitutional was. And it's like, you know, if you piked early or you fucked off, you were pretty much considered weak, you know? Which, I'll be honest, I actually ended up, I think in most cases I ended up out drinking him in some cases. Certain situations where I've actually ended up drinking more than he has. But the other side of it too is I also think there's the other side of it as well. I think there's certain situations he's drunk. He's got drunk, but he hasn't got drunk so much because he wanted because in most cases people who get drunk are very easily manipulated if you know how and what to say to them. Not just that, but most of the time you can convince them to do things that they wouldn't normally do, especially if they drink enough. Because you drink enough, you lose control and inhibition completely, you know, and that's the truth. And that's the reason that I guess sometimes I get shitty with people. You know, those types of people who can take advantage of that situation, they sicken me because of the fact that they can. Like, they can take advantage of that situation. Why would they do that? Like, what is lacking in your life? Whether it's the fact that, you know, your business might not be going that well, or you're having some issues with, you know, your family, or something. What's lacking in your life that ultimately wants to make you see someone drink into a stupor or something like that, and you want to be able to control their actions or whatever? And that's the kind of sickening thing that I do see. I don't see it every day in my life, but I have seen it on the internet especially. Do see it in real life sometimes. Admittedly, that's true. I've seen it sometimes on the internet. Sorry, I've seen it sometimes in real life as well. But it's normally, you know, guys just egging guys on. You know, it's what do they call it? The man cave mentality, or the man... male banter, as they call it. It's male banter. That's pretty much the concept of it. It's the fact that you've got to do something, or you're going to do something specific. And the problem with this is that most of these men have their own lacking issues. You know, and they might have their own health issues. They might have their own lacking issues in life. And the truth is, most of it's been cause and effect by somebody egging them on in a certain situations. You know. And this is what we have as an attitude as society. You know, it's like egg man on to do some dodgy shit, to do some stupid shit. And I'm like, well, okay, alright. I get, you know, the mentality that it's okay to be, it's not okay to be, well, alright. I sort of understand it's not okay to be weak. But the other side of it too is it's okay to be sensitive too. So it's okay to have a little emotion from time to time. It's not as if it's a bad thing to have emotions towards others. And the problem is, typically, people of my generation and certain generations, it's like, oh, you express emotion. Oh, you're weak. You're a weak little bitch. Fuck off. You know? And this is my point. Like, this is the actual attitude of some people. And the sad truth is, I've seen it. I know it. I've experienced it in different people. And it's the same attitude and same consistency in attitude. And this is what society thinks. I hate to say it, but it's true. You can sit there and argue till you're blue in the face that it isn't, but it's so fucking true. And if you don't see it, then you're purely you're either delusional or you don't understand how the world works. That's the truth. I mean, at the end of it, you know, I can say that I've had enough practical life experience at this point in time. I mean, okay, you know, it's been, some of it's been around my family, but it's also been around friends. It's the other thing too. People seem to think I don't have friends. Yes, a lot of the stuff is me featured on my YouTube channel. I'm not arguing that. But I do have friends outside of everything I do. That's my point. I've had friends. The thing is, I've lost friends too, simply because it was a difference. Some of it's been a difference of opinion. Some of it's been the fact that they've tried to borrow money off me so many freaking times that it's ridiculous. And as I said, there's some other people that's like, it's like, okay, well, some people I've seen, it's like, when a situation arises where they need money, they never have it. Like, it doesn't matter what they do in life. when they need money, they never have it, or they never have enough of it to do what they want. Well, that's not one side. Well, not necessarily enough, but look, put it this way. I've always been with the mentality, as long as I have enough fucking money to pay my bills, and to get food, and to buy a bit of booze if I choose to, I'm doing well for myself. I'm doing well for my own life because I have enough to be able to function and actually do something with my life, you know? And that's the truth. I've always been of that attitude that, you know, if I have enough to sustain myself, not just sustain myself, but to keep myself healthy enough, then I'm not doing too bad. That's my point, I'm not. I mean, the only time I could consider myself to be doing too bad is if I didn't have any money and I didn't have any business at all. I mean, the truth is, in life, you're going to have moments where your business is slow and you're bored. I mean, to be honest, that's the truth. I'm a bit of a bored. When I get bored, I go and do random stuff on the internet. I do a lot of that random stuff, you know, but yeah, it's in the context. That's my point. I think the problem with society is we live in a society where that is the case. It's like, oh no, I can't do enough of this, I can't do enough of this. It's like, what the fuck? Okay, well, okay, I get what you mean. You know, we all fall on tough times to a certain extent, and you know what? I'm going to understand that from some people's points of view, that we all fall on tough times. We all get situations where things have shit themselves. But I think some people purposely try to get themselves into bad situations. They purposely egg on those bad situations, or they encourage them. Now, I'm not saying everybody's like that because I don't believe that, but there's always certain people that I've seen that clearly, well, I don't know, what I used to have on my friends, which would encourage drug use. And the only time where I think, okay, I take prescription pills for the purpose of medicating myself for conditions. I also limit to help myself. I'd say it helps me relax, focus towards a lot of things like that function. And I drink. But somebody was encouraging me to use cocaine, meth, LSD, all this other stuff. And I'm sorry, but to me, the likelihood of psychosis ensuing after those types of drugs is pretty bad. Like, statistically, if you look at like what would actually happen. There's certain drugs I would never touch with alcohol, to be honest. And there's certain drugs where there's prescription combination that I might consider because of the fact that those drugs, they have an effect. The way they have an effect is not as detrimental, you know, not just that, but they tend to be, the effect doesn't tend to be as negative. Put it this way, I'd rather have a drug that has a positive effect on me as a person than it has a negative effect. That's the truth. You know what? I mean, I'm far from perfect. I make mistakes from time to time. I have to redo things sometimes. Actually, no. When it comes to my professional career, I've rarely redo something. Maybe once, but that's because I offered my repairs and if you're interested in repair. And there's a problem. Bring it back to me within a month or so. And I will have a crack at it again and see if I fix the issue. But I've rarely had that happen where somebody's brought it back and it's still the same issue. I think one time, that's it. One fucking time. And that's it, the entirety. So this is my point. Most of the time, I get things correct, and I do the right thing. But admittedly though, with my streaming, it's a bit of a casual thing, so I put effort into it, but it's a casual thing. It's not my bread and butter. It's, at the end of it, it could be my bread and butter, but it's just, I'm not making enough out of it now to consider it. I make more out of repairing someone's computer, creating viruses, building a gaming machine. I make more of that than yeah. But yeah, no, I still love YouTube streaming. I still love Twitch streaming. I still love to, do stuff on Facebook as well. I mean, I've gone, this, I've recently started getting into trolling stuff, very trolling stuff on the internet. It's interesting, it's fun. Some of it's funny, some parts are funny. Well, okay, most of it's funny in the sense that some of it can be funny, I can laugh at some things, and then some things are just so funny. I don't even give a response. If I feel something's too stupid to give a response to, I don't even bother to give a response to it. It's not fun. But it's something I feel passionate about. For example, something that, the fact that, a lot of different things may happen, for example, rape, child abuse, things like that. Because those things I feel strong about. Those things will get you killed around me in the sense of how I feel about them as a person. I've always had an issue with people who make those things. Generally because it could show that they have those tendencies. Like, that's my point. That's exactly what I read into something. If somebody makes a joke about rape, child abuse, things like that, then it shows to me that they
not fucking see me!
Some of those tendencies
Woo! Venison steaks all around!
Context, by their making fun of it. So that's how it works in that kind of stuff. That's the reason that I won't go after some people like that. And that's the reason I don't attack them. I do that. You know what? I'm just going to admit that because it's the truth. And that's the reason. At the end of it, somebody will act like that, and I may consider them. In my mind, I'll read, oh shit, for the tendencies this guy made. That's my point. That's what I'll read. That's the first thing I'll read. If somebody makes a joke out of that shit, that's the first thing I pick up on. That's the first thing that goes through my mind. And it's because, my mum has had to endure a lot of that shit when she was younger. She always has had to endure a lot of those things. And that's the reason that I am so adamantly passionate about it. Not just passionate, but you could say that it's not just a passion thing to me. It's a bit of anger involved as well. And that's the reason I treat people the way I do with that stuff, And hence why I get angry, why I get pissed off. So hence the reason that I might, hence the reason I might get shitty with someone. I mean, it's different if it's, you're talking about porn or something, or if you're talking about, perversion. Because perversion, pedophilia, abuse don't necessarily go in hand. And this is my point. If you're perverted, I don't know, this is the thing about society. We paint people who are perverted or have a perverted point of view as, pedophilic or something, or, something along those lines. And I'm sorry, but that's just not, it's not the truth. Right? It's just not the truth.
Oh, Lord above!
That was a pretty good one. I know. But yeah, that's my point. That's the reason that when I see people like that, I paint them in that light. Unfortunately, it's how my mind works. It's the reason that I've got and lost some friends, because I've taken into consideration, they've said something and I'm like, you have pedophilic tendencies, I don't know if I like that. Not just that, I'm not just offended by that, but I actually get the shits with that. And that's the thing, I've lost some friends simply because of the fact that that's where my mind is going. And, thinking about them as a person, so
oh, shit!
I don't know, it's happened in the past. It's happened to me in the past, and I've lost a few friends out of different reasonings. I mean, the other side of it too is I hate scam. People trying to get money out of people, I've come across all different types of scams. Firstly, there's people who want to sell you products, and they're pushing the sales so hard that it seems like they're trying too hard to do it. If you're going to sell me a product, don't push it into my face. Even if I'm drunk. Because here's the thing, even if I'm drunk, there's a certain level I've got to... See, this is the reason that even now when I am drunk, I get defensive on the internet, because people try to push things, they'll try to push their attitude, they'll try to push other things on you. And it's always a psychological mind game. That's one of those things. You have to learn who's playing the game and who's not. Because the truth is, everybody plays those games, especially on the internet, because I know there's a bunch of, not just trolls, but people who psychologically manipulate the situation. It's not just manipulation, it's it's a degree to the, it's a degree of that manipulation in the sense that, okay, firstly, it starts from this context. It's how they're playing it, firstly, that pisses me off, I guess, to a certain extent. Another thing I do is I actively seek out, if I see somebody who's depressed or feeling down, I will literally try to talk them out of suicide on the internet. I've always been one of those people. I'm not, I mean, okay, the only time that I might ever condone somebody killing themselves, and there's only certain situations, you say, for example, it's somebody who's just purely crazy. They've had drugs for years, and to be honest, they're just, I think the world would be a better place if they just died in a hole. There's only a few people that I know that are like that. I'm not saying everybody's like that. There's a few people I've honestly, scam artists is one of those big targeting things. Scam artists is definitely the top range. People who try to get people to commit suicide on the internet is another thing, big thing with me too. If you try to get someone to do that, if you try to convince someone to do that, then you'll get my fucking wrath, you know what I mean? Admittedly, I have, in the past, reported, not necessarily reported to an authority, but I reported to some other entities that don't like the same type of stuff that I like. There's always some type of, you know, criminal element who doesn't like trafficking and who doesn't like certain activity of that nature, and they're more inclined to do something, let's just say that's, well, yeah, violent to a certain extent, but not just that. They'll make the person they'll make the person vanish pretty quickly. But that's the thing, you know. I've always been adamantly the type of person that would, I don't know, even suicide. This is an example. I would never want somebody to kill themselves. There's plenty of... Look, I know, because I speak from personal experience, there's plenty of reasons you could kill yourself. There's plenty of reasons in the world why you could slit your own wrists. And I understand logically why somebody feels the need to slit their own wrist. You know, especially with the shit you have to deal on a daily basis, even if it's internet related or otherwise. Dealing with life can be hard sometimes, and just, you know, feeling that way is normal. Like, it's okay to feel that way, but I think it's good to stop people and point out the positives of life, point out where things can be better, where they can change things for themselves, what they can do and what they can bring back to the world, what they can contribute back and make things positive. Admittedly, though, I've had some negative people in my life, and I guess for a while they turned me fairly bitter against myself and other people. Not everybody, though. I wasn't bitter about it with everybody that I met, but some people I was, admittedly. And it's only because it was sort of the same reciprocated attitude that I was getting from them. So yeah. I mean, okay, yes, I'm mentally ill. I'm well aware of that fact. But considering that I'm mentally ill, I deal with most things pretty well. To be honest, I didn't really start smoking until I didn't really start smoking until a little while ago, and it was the previous experience I had with my girlfriend, or a ex-girlfriend, in other words. I had a previous experience with which was really negative, and it was partly to do with the money that she siphoned off me through emotional manipulation, and it was also to do with the fact that I really did love her, and there was legitimate love behind how I felt about her. And when your heart gets broken, you feel a combination of emotions. You feel angry first, you know, that's probably first part of it. You feel like killing them, you know. Then you feel bitter and you just want to, you know, fuck with their life. Then, you know, other times you just want to, you just occasionally want to cry, but the truth is I don't cry. I'm not a very emotional guy by any nature, and I guess to a certain extent sometimes that was to do with my pills shutting off a lot of my emotions, which I don't necessarily know whether that was a good thing or not, but sometimes it was, sometimes it wasn't. And the truth is, I don't cry very often these days. It's the opposite, actually. I get angry. Instead of crying, I get angry, you know? And I guess you could say that's kind of sad, but it's true. Instead of crying at something that I may feel emotionally about, or emotional about, I tend to, just put the rest of that in there, I tend to just shut that emotion off. It's not the greatest psychological dealing mechanism in the world, I realise this, and I'm well aware of that. You know what? I probably wouldn't recommend that people do that. But I do it. I know I do it. I know I'm guilty of it. I'm not going to feel bad about doing it, because I guess it's just part of my schizophrenia as well. Being able to segregate some emotions. So now ironically I was talking about segregating parts of the population, and now I'm segregating my emotions. The other thing too is, you know, there's sometimes where I laugh at things too. I can laugh. I can really laugh. Not just that, but I can have a really good sense of humour as well. But I've had some negative effects of things in my life, and I know how much it affected me. I know how bad I felt. To be honest, there was a lot of deep-seated emotion behind everything, and whether it's my mother's death, or whether it's losing or having a girlfriend that betrayed me. I know exactly how these things feel. Because I guess to a certain extent these emotions are very raw for me. They always have been raw for me. Always have been, always will be. Anyway, not the point. Not the point. I'm carrying on. I'm trying to be. Maybe I'm too emotional. I don't know. I do have emotions. I just sometimes I hide them very well. And sometimes, I guess that's the reason that people have called me a psychopath in the past, because of how I act. But the truth is, I have a lot of deep-seated emotions that never get expressed. I have a lot of deep-seated issues too. Some things I talk about, some things I don't. I've always been taught that when it comes to expressing your emotions, particularly any emotion that's not manly, it's considered negative. It's my entire attitude, not my attitude, but that's the attitude that I've always been given in my life. And it's not as if it always happens, but it has been moments where it has, so yeah. It's just a side effect of it ultimately. But yeah, no, it's alright. It's not always the way it is. It's just the way life works sometimes. As they say, you gotta roll with the punches, as it were. Anything in my life is that sometimes it is okay to feel emotion. Just be around it and you feel comfortable enough to reveal those emotional states to those people. Let's just say I've revealed emotional states to some people.
Shit! That was entirely your...
Can't believe that had 2 fucking bikers. I could have taken those cunts out, but yeah, apparently it was not in the cards. Assholes. So, oh, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That's just inevitability of life. Would be nice if I could win a little more than I lose to a certain extent sometimes, but unfortunately, it's just the way life is. Alright, back to what the fuck I was doing. But yeah, no, anyway, the point, as I said, it's hard sometimes, as I said, you know, with different emotional states and how you're feeling. You can feel perfectly good one day and the next it's just an up and down thing, you know? Most of my life, I have used some type of medication to deal with all my problems. And, that's how I do with my life.
Send me that picture.
To be honest, there's some people who, yes, can walk around without medication in their system, but I'm just not one of those people, to be honest. Never have been. I need some type of medicative point. I need something, you know, that's a calming factor or a calming thing to be able to function. Whether it's alcohol or otherwise, I can't cope with life without some type of relief mechanism. And you know what? I don't think that makes me a weak person, but wanting a relief mechanism. Do have a relief mechanism. Sadly, my point is, you know, that's life. There are some people who can't do it. I mean, as I said, I don't know. There's some people who claim. I love how there's some people who do claim, you know, that they don't have any relief. Because they're the ones most likely who are feeling guilty about using those relief mechanisms. So apparently that's the reason they attack people and come up with them in most cases. I think that's just something they feel guilty because of the fact that they use those mechanisms to relieve themselves or relieve their life. People in life, I can turn around and be the biggest ignorance in the world and say, well, it was like, and they say that, but cowards, non-military kids, if they need help, or they need to have somebody to talk to, or need somebody to stand with, you know, that's the part of the sickness, as I see those people. There's nothing wrong with admitting that, you know, you're only human. Jesus fucking Christ, what are we doing in the world? So that nature of it, that part of ourselves, human beings, can someone be very overly addictions, vulnerabilities, and weakness. Well, I guess in implication you could say something like themselves, it is. That's when a psychopathic some of the series is obvious psychotic. Some people just purely be a psychosis or a psychotic mood, as I like to call it. Just purely see the bad and the shit. And then they can just shit moods, thinking will influence others, it's corrupted with and those types of people do come and go, you know, that's my point. And my point is, it's okay to say that I'm human.
Give me
I
a ride
have my
home,
weak moments.
please. What just happened?
I have my weaknesses. And, you know, I mean, the only time that I will ever have it against anybody is because I've seen it talk about that. Have you took those She would only really talk to me about that's good. That's weird. That's the thing, you know. I've seen how badly it can affect what it can do to someone. I've seen what it did. See what it does to people, you know, the way it tears them up. So, my mum couldn't sleep. She was schizophrenic, but it's not just the fact she was schizophrenic. She would go to sleep at nights, and if you tried to you came into a room just to talk to her or something like that, she'd get scared the shit out because she was always worried about somebody breaking into the house. She was always paranoid about somebody breaking into the house. She was always paranoid about getting raped. She was always paranoid about all that stuff, you know. And wow, to see the effect that abuse has on someone, wow, it can be emotionally, I guess to some degree emotionally scarring, but I'm glad that I was there to see it because I understood and I understand why, you know, why she had the negative situations happen in her life. Not just that, but I understood how bad it was for her in that situation with the abuse and stuff, you know? And perhaps I'm sitting here holding on to this stuff, but you know what? I hold on to the memories, good and bad, of my mum. I remember the moments when my mum used to laugh and make me laugh. My mum was a very cheerful woman when she wanted to be, and she was very kind and compassionate. She worried excessively, and she was a bit paranoid about some things that she shouldn't have been paranoid about, but she was a wonderful woman. She had schizophrenia, but she still managed to raise me, you know? She still managed to raise me, she still managed to put a fucking house together in most cases. She wasn't perfect, the house was a bit messy, and most of the time, if we were having a clean-up or something like that, she'd you know, she'd just stuff all the stuff into one cupboard. But I still loved her, you know? I loved her immensely. That's the thing. She was the center of my world, you know? That's the thing. She was the center of my world. She was the center of me. She gave me everything, you know? She gave birth to me. She gave back to me. She loved me. She always told me that she loved me, you know? There's never a moment that I didn't feel loved by my mum. Maybe I was a little bit of an arsehole. Not arsehole. Yeah, probably arsehole sometimes. I was a little bit of a whiny kid sometimes, you know. I try to get my own way, and I do that. But you know what? I still loved her. And I was still... That never changed, you know. It never changed that... Yeah, it just never changed. But it's such a deep pain to lose somebody like that in your life, you know. It's a deep pain because it's a deep pain to lose somebody that you love so much, that you had so much to connect with, you know. And it's never easy dealing with that pain on a daily basis, you know. I mean, I can sit here and drink myself into a stupor and use alcohol as a compensating mechanism for the fact that I'm emotionally missing my mum, but... yeah, you know, just... It's a lot of pain to deal with. Emotionally, it's a lot of pain to deal with. And it's never the easiest amount of pain you can give in a given situation. Oh, hold on a second. My friends. Sorry, my friend sent this picture of a bed, and it's just an entire bed, and it says, what's the caption read? I present to you, I'm getting nothing done. Shit on. I'm not getting shit done today, 3000. And it's basically this fucking couch bed with all these fridge and everything. It's got all this other fucking stuff attached to it. I actually thought it was pretty ironic though. It was funny as well. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that for myself actually, man. That'd be pretty cool. I looked at the actual direct picture of it afterwards. I cracked up actually. I was quite impressed with that. This is my friend Tristram anyway. I was just curious. I don't know. As I said, different people, different perceptions, I guess. But I don't know. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. As I said, it's never easy dealing with that pain. Dealing with that pain on a daily basis can be the hardest thing for anybody, especially if you're especially if you are an emotionally sensitive person, but most of the time you hide that fact, you know. I will say though, there's certain people that I've killed off my friends list because I didn't want to deal with them anymore because they were just, you know, generally they were either being dickheads or they're doing something else, you know. So. Well, I will say though, the vast majority of people I've met who are abusive, they're either crackheads or fucking meth heads. I mean, I know how to be just as bad myself, but the vast majority that I've ever met of people who are actually that way are either crackheads or meth heads. It's like a consistent thing with meth. It's a very angry drug for some people. Fuck, if you get enough alcohol in you, that can be an angry drug too, but it takes a hell of a lot to really kick you into being, like, extremely angry with people, you know? I will say, though, I've always tried to pride myself in the fact that I don't go around hurting people. That's never anything I've really done. But it comes down to it. I mean, you know, I'm willing to defend myself if the situation requires it at the end. If I need to defend myself, fine. That's fine. I can do that. And I don't have an issue with that at all. I think the only time I've ever had an issue with that, I guess, is... Actually, no, I don't generally think I've had an issue with it at all. I've never had a major problem with it or doing it, you know. Like, you defend yourself... Actually, I actually looked up self-defense law, and you can... If you feel your life's threatened or your family's life is threatened, so you can defend yourself to the death. Or not to the death, but you can defend... You can kill someone, that's my point. It's not... It's not against the law for you to defend... If you reasonably feel your life is being threatened by another, to the degree that you think they're going to kill you or something, then you have every single right, to kill them, to stop them from doing the immediate things that they're doing, and stop the immediate actions that they're contributing to your life. Not just actions, but, you know, say for example they're threatening your family with a knife, or, you know, whatever. I mean, it's different with a gun. I mean, you know, it's sort of different with a gun anyway. But, I mean, guns aren't that common in Australia. They're more common in America. That's the thing. America is more inclined... You're more inclined to be shot in America than you are in Australia. Australia's more... You're more likely to get stabbed. Either stabbed or beaten. Get the shit beaten out of you. Hence the reason that I'm deciding to take up knife combat and Taekwondo again. Always be prepared, people. Always be prepared. I say there's a lot of positives of living in Australia, though. The medical system is pretty good. Treats most people with a relative degree of fairness. Or, you know, we're pretty lucky with a lot of the stuff we get. In comparison to America, we're doing pretty damn well. But I'm not going to criticise Americans, because I think there's some fantastic Americans out there. Some fantastic Americans. Some people that I've met that I just, you know, they're really... They're nice. So I've met a few of them. I think about maybe... In my entire time online, I've met about... Or had about... 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Maybe 10 or 11 American friends. Maybe more. But I've had about that much over time. See, it's also funny. People are... I've always been a big believer in the death penalty. If somebody... If the crime includes murder, or the crime includes something along those lines, the punishment should fit the crime. You know what I mean? I've always been a believer of that. And that's the thing. There's a lot of people that they just want to handle... They want to panhandle and panhandle things really easily. You know, just like, oh, fuck that, you know, or... You know, we'll do this and we'll just let them off lightly or something. And I don't think that's a fair system, firstly. It's not a fair system at all, and it never has been. And that's the thing, you know, like, the punishment should fit the crime, and logically, you know? I think that's the problem with society. I could say sometimes we don't. The way we handle things is probably, I'd say at least, it's too mild in some cases. I'm not saying in every single case. I'm not going to say that every single case requires, like, okay, for example, somebody stealing bread for their family. I mean, that's a bit extreme to cut their fucking hands off or something like that. You know, like, I get minimal sentences for stuff like that. You know. But somebody doing something nasty to someone else in the sense of, okay, it's different if it's verbally speaking. Most things don't hurt as much, you know, don't do as much damage because you're not inciting actions, you're not killing someone, you're not interacting with them in real life, you know. It's more when you push the real life envelope that things get, you know, nasty. That's something I've learned. You know, in my whole entire life, real life matters more in the long run than what's online. Online is just online, you know. You can say and do what you want online, but it'll only change things to a degree. Sometimes you are required to go out into the world. Hence the reason I'm getting my license, which, you know, because I have to be able to interact with the real world, not just that, but I have to be able to actually, I mean, and people do, and this is funny though, people wonder, like, how the hell did you get around if you didn't have a license? I used to get a lot of lifts from a lot of different friends, and it was good to have those friends, you know. I enjoyed it, you know. I also had some good and bad friends. I've lost a few friends, I've gained a few friends. I even have another friend that I regularly talk to. He's local, he's pretty good, his name's Michael, he's a nice guy. Catch up with him occasionally, have a bit of a smoke, bit of a chat, and, you know, just relax. Not just that, but, you know, we might have a couple of drinks or something, or maybe some nice food too. That's what I love food. I know that I'm well aware that, you know, high fat foods are really bad for your cholesterol, but fuck it, sometimes you just gotta live. I hate to say it, but, you know, if you're gonna have food, have full fat food, have full sugar food. I don't have that all the time though. I mean, look, I'm sitting here drinking water right now and I'm having a bit of this, right? I don't have full fat food all the time, but when I do, I like to make a go of it. I like to have at least a decent amount of food. Not just that, but not, you know, nice, relatively, I'd say, not just fatty food, but also food that's full, wholesome, full of plenty of herbs and spices, vegetables, but at the same time, you know, a bit of nice melted cheese on top. Always. I'm a melted cheese guy. I'm a bacon guy too. I'm a steak guy too. I love a good T-bone fucking steak. Nice big motherfucking huge motherfucking steak. This is my point. I'm a meat guy. You know? I know plenty of people who aren't meat and are pro against meat, you could say. And, you know. But, you know, it's unfortunate. It's just the way the world works. Not everybody's a meat eater, and I'm not going to criticise somebody for meat eating, but I will take this. I will take this point. I'm considerate. If somebody says to me I'm a vegetarian, I will make a vegetarian dish. I will try to find some alternative to give to the person if they don't eat meat, if they're not a big meat eater. I don't have a problem with turning around and saying to them, okay, all right, I will accommodate to your needs. That's not a problem, yeah. And I'm considerate that way, yeah. And I always have been a considerate person. I mean, inconsiderate assholes mostly don't take into consideration other people's feelings, other people's thoughts too. That's something that a lot of assholes don't take into account, and, you know, it's going to happen from time to time. And that's the thing, most of it. I don't know, it's funny, you see, me, I do smoke, but if I smoke, it's a considerate thing. I try, I mean, I'm vaping right now. Vaping and smoking are two different things. I try not to smoke inside unless it's like late at night, and I don't like going outside, so that's sort of a combination of the other side of it too. It is, you know, I pay part of the rent in the house, so I don't think there's any fucking problem with me smoking inside if I want to, but I choose to smoke outside sometimes because I think it's just generally better, because, you know, you don't have as much of a smell inside. That's one thing. The other side of it too is, it's just a good thing to do sometimes, that is do it outside, preferably, you know? But I do smoke inside sometimes. It depends on my mood. On the other hand, some people are totally different. They'll turn around and say, "Oh, you smoke outside. That's the only place you can do it." But you know, that's the thing. Sometimes I'll smoke inside, sometimes I won't. It just depends on my mood. It's just life, you know. It's just how it works, unfortunately. But this is my point. I've seen people who are really inconsiderate in the fact that they'll be so self-absorbed that they won't notice anybody else's problems or issues, you know? But it is nice to have some time to myself and to have my own things. Not just that, but have my own stuff that I can do. Particular things that I like to do to have fun. I don't know, I would never... I mean, this guy's giving his opinion, and like, you know, he's talking about taking fucking cocaine and snorting half your paycheck, and I'm like, interesting. And then he claims he's a responsible human being when that is the case. And I'm like, yeah, sure, you're a responsible human being. I believe you. I mean, yes, okay, he's had his own situations in life. I mean, you know, maybe he sees things differently. I don't know his entire story about his family or how his family thinks. Maybe his family has a different mentality. But I know if my family saw me smoking meth or snorting cocaine, their attitude would be that I don't know, I wouldn't get disowned, but I definitely wouldn't get praises for it. That's my point. I wouldn't get praised to do it. I wouldn't get praised for it. That's the thing, you know. Even if I did have my own place, those are the likely drugs I would never touch, because I know, psychologically speaking, they're probably, with my conditions, they're just not the best drug you could take. I'll be honest, they'd probably exacerbate it and make things worse, you know? Like, this is my point, I'm not a complete fucking idiot, you know? Which, yeah, I'm kind of calling him an idiot to some degree, because I think it's a bit stupid that you would condone somebody taking those types of drugs. And I still don't understand people who do take those drugs, to be honest. I really don't. Like, you know, each to their own, I guess, but Jesus, really? Like, what makes you want to take... Okay, first question I have to ask. What makes you want to spend half your paycheck on those types of drugs? And the answer is, they're more addictive. I can say that weed or pot has never been addictive. Not as addictive, anyway. You know, you can go for freaking weeks without it sometimes. You don't necessarily have to smoke it every day. That's the thing. Whereas some of these things like crack, fucking cocaine and stuff like that, I've seen people, you know, as I said, you see people who practically got their last $100 on crack or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. Maybe I'm more sensible than a lot of other people. Maybe that's just how my mind works. Maybe because I'm sensible, that's actually a bad thing, you know. Actually, I don't believe that. I believe being sensible is just the smart thing to do. If you're not sensible these days, you know, you're likely to run headfirst into danger and get your head fucking chopped off by a blade or something, you know. See, in most cases when I get drunk or I do something online, it's a controlled situation. It's a controlled situation because I know how much I'm drinking in most cases, and I know what level I can get at most of the time that's not too bad. Even at that, in most cases I end up falling asleep or something. You know what I mean? That has happened a lot of the times, though. I have passed out drinking, I admit that. But I don't do it all the time, and most of the time if I try to limit to, say, the weekend or something like that. And in most cases, if I do have a drink during the week, it'll be like maybe a couple of glasses of wine or something, or for example, which I'm just going to have now, a beer. Alright? But yeah. What I don't consider smart is drinking 24 hours, 7 days a week. That's just fucking retarded. Like, why the hell would you drink that much? You know, like, there's nothing wrong with having a top up or getting a bit of a... There's nothing wrong with getting a bit of a top up and, you know, having a drink from time to time. It won't hurt you. You know, well, in some ways, I guess. You know, it can cause... It has caused liver issues for some people. But it also depends on what you mix with it, too. I've always been adamantly clear with a lot of my stuff. I've got what do you call it? A lot of detoxing stuff, like charcoal. So, I think I'll put it back in the drawer actually. But it's charcoal tablets anyway. They're good for detoxing. Like, you know, there's times that you wish you could drink to excess every day, and the truth is that your body's not designed for excess every day. It's not, that's the point. You know, either one of two things are going to happen if you keep doing that. Is you're going to box your kidneys, or you're going to fuck your liver. Either one of the two. It would take a lot for that to happen. And you normally have to. I'm a testimony to that myself. It would take a lot for that to happen, and that's my point. I've had a fair amount over the years, and the other side too is I've learned my limits. I know my limits. I mean, even to this day, I've still got medical conditions that haunt me. I think some degree to do with drinking. Occasionally, hemorrhoids are an issue. Not always, but sometimes. Joint pains is another issue too. Dehydration can be a big issue, especially if you don't drink water. Or any type of water while drinking. That's just stupid. You're an idiot if you don't. Dehydration can be a major issue, especially. Bone density things can come into drinking as well. I know that for a fact. I looked up some research on that. But I know for a fact with bone density can be an issue with drinking. I've had juvenile arthritis my entire life, so in most cases I have used drinking as a bit of a medicated way out. But I don't know, I'm always into something. Maybe that's the reason that I psychologically lash out. Sorry, maybe that's the reason I lash out because sometimes that's probably part of it, yeah. I'm going to admit that. See, I've got bone pains, I've got pains, aches and pains in my body. And you know what? Most of the time I just avoid that can be a bit of an issue sometimes, but not necessarily. It just depends on how you're feeling too. But pain can be a big issue. Pain can be a big problem. Whether it's mental pain or physical pain, and the problem is with a schizophrenic, sometimes those lines get blurred. That's unfortunate, but it does. It gets blurred. Definitely. It does, it gets blurred. Sometimes that pain just gets so freaking blurred that you don't know. What's the thing? You don't know the difference between physical pain and emotional pain, and the lines get blurred and you can't see straight, and so it sounds like drinking. Yeah, that's the ultimate truth. But I also drink to have fun too. I drink to enjoy myself. I drink to have fun. I've always been not taught, but I've always grown up with people having fun. It's my entire life. Yeah, no, it is my entire life. I mean, I could tell you stories. I don't. My auntie Patty, she God bless her soul, she passed. She's passed, but. My auntie Patty, she was a hell of a drinker. She was a hell of a drinker indeed. She a couple of times we've been in family parties and stuff, and this is back when I used to live in Wollongong. We've been at family parties and stuff, and she's like literally drunk enough to floor a rhino, almost. She had an entire bottle of whiskey down that, and I think it was a bottle of vodka too. And she's running down the street naked. Yep, no joke, naked, yelling "Mama, Mama, Mama." Mind you, she takes a couple of medications and stuff like that, but she was literally running down the street like that. But God bless her soul, she was such a good woman to talk to when you had a couple of drinks under your belt and you just wanted to have a bit of fun and relax. She was a good one. She was a party. She was a bit of a party animal. I love talking to her, you know. And to be honest, like. It's ironic because every time I ever used to talk to her and ever used to have her around, like even when she used to come up to our place in Canberra, you know, I'd stay with her, have a few drinks, and we'd be up till fucking 5 a.m. chatting about different shit, and, you know, it was always fun. I loved it. It was fun, you know? Just chatting, drunken philosophy shit, just some of the she used to tell me some of the stories about some of the crap that went on in her life, you know, and how she used the stuff she enjoyed as a kid, and, you know, what it was like growing up in her day and age, you know, some of the abusive crap that she used to, some of the abusive crap, but she took a light-hearted sense of humour towards it, you know, she didn't treat it very seriously in most cases, you know, she tried to laugh it off and, you know, tried her best to, take a mentality towards that, you know. And that's the truth, you know. I've grown up around a few party animals, I would say. People who I'd say that they're the types of people that that used to they got drunk to have fun, you know. It started out that way, but I think aside from getting drunk to have fun, they'd also drink to help them with their emotional problems to a certain extent. And you know what? I'm not condoning that, but sometimes it helps a little bit to get a little bit drunk. You don't have to get plastered off your ass, but sometimes it helps to get drunk because it eases your mentality towards the world sometimes, you know, and it just shows you a little bit of perspectives to a certain extent. And I'm not condoning somebody, you know, getting drunk every day, 24 hours a day, you know, because that's just stupid. You're an idiot if you do. But I do think drinking is not a bad thing, and I think it's always, I guess, because of some abusive alcoholic assholes that people have painted it in a bad light, and that's the problem. We're living in a society where that has been a prominent thing, you know, and it's been an issue, I guess, to a certain extent, you know. So I'm far from perfect. And I will not proclaim to know everything in the world, but I know that it's the amount of wisdom that I've accumulated over the years. I mean, what am I, freaking 34 now, you know, and I've done a few things. There's still a lot more, there's actually still a lot more I want to do with my life, to be honest. I want to go to Japan, and I want to go to the US. Those are two places I'd love to visit. I'd be certain parts of the US, though. There's certain parts I know if I probably went there, I'd probably have to watch what I say, because I might get shot. That's ironic, though. That's actually true. I probably would get shot, because I'm too much of a smart-ass when it comes to the things I say. Sometimes it's just choosing your words wisely. I hate to say it, but when I'm in the right mood, I can be a really crass smart-ass, and, like, people are just like, ah, you're a fucking dickhead, mate. A couple of people said that to me. But the weird part is, though, it depends on the mood I'm in, it depends on how I'm feeling, so, you know. I'm far from perfect. I can say this about myself, I still have all my teeth. Be it that they probably need a bit of work done on them. I can say that much. Oh no, actually that's not entirely true. I only have one molar taken out because that was to do with my wisdom tooth. There was an issue with my wisdom tooth rotting behind it, and you know, some nasty ass stuff that happened before. But I do have I have pretty much all my front teeth, all here, all here. I've never, put it this way, my dad and my mum have needed false teeth in there. They actually needed false teeth. My mum, she never had any teeth at all. Yep, she never had any at all. I can say at least I have my teeth. I can still chew steaks, I can still do stuff like that. I've probably got a few holes in them, to be honest, so I need to get them fixed. It's always going to happen. But, I mean, they're okay most of the time. But another thing I should have got when I was younger, but growing up, I was a fairly poor kid. I didn't have a lot of money. My whole family didn't. You know, we grew up in a, you know, just not being that, not having a massive amount of money, sort of thing. I can say that most of my teeth have survived this long. So no, I don't really drink a lot of. I don't eat a lot of sweets either. That's another thing. I'm not a big sweet eater. There's a lot of people out there, I know they have a lot of candy and chocolate and ice cream and stuff, and I've never been really much of a sweet person. I eat more meat than anything else. I eat a lot of tuna sometimes, sardines sometimes, depending on my mood. Beef, yeah, I eat a lot of meat. But I also eat vegetables too. It's not as if I think vegetables are bad for you or they're a negative thing. I just I don't know. Well, that's not entirely true. I might have a banana. If I'm in the mood and it's in front of me, if a banana is in front of me, I will eat it. If a piece of fruit is in front of me, like for example, an apple or something like that, I will eat it. But, yeah, you know, I've always been more of a meat-orientated person. But yeah, that's my point. I've always been more of that type of person, you know. Meat, protein has always been a major thing for me. But yeah, anyway, beside the point, I've done a lot of that stuff over the years, but that's not my point. When I was young, you know, we used to hang around with the yellows, the rellos, as we like to call them, and we used to get a lot of stuff. Like, we used to get tons of stuff, actually. I mean, there was always a percentage of the time that, in most cases, everybody was getting drunk or having some type of alcoholic beverage, smoking a cigarette. Actually, I was consistently around cigarettes my entire life. I didn't start smoking till recently, to be honest. That's the truth. I only started like 7, 8, 9 months ago or something. And the only reason I started is because of the fact that I broke up with my girlfriend. Well, technically broke up, but also at the same time she scammed my ass out of motherfucking $4,000. It's all because I guess I was being too sensitive to women. Maybe that's my problem. Maybe I take a sensitive line on women. Maybe I should take an opposite effect. It just wonders, like some of these guys I see, you know, these guys who end up being assholes. They seem to get women's attention more. Anyway, yeah. So broke up. She took me for $4,000, but it was mostly for emotional manipulation. And you know what that $4,000 was mostly spent on? Some of it was spent on her. I helped her get her wisdom teeth out. I bought her a new TV. I bought her an Xbox 360. What else did I buy for her? Controller. I helped fix all electronics. I got her car fixed for her. What else? Probably even supplied a bit of weed to her too. Well, not technically, I gave her the money for it anyway. Well, I think that was an issue. I think she had deeper seated drug issues, to be honest. I don't think it was just one thing with her, because I think she also had supposedly she had MS, and I don't know. I'm kind of not convinced of that. Well, I don't know. It just seemed with her there was always something coming out. It's like, oh, I need my car fixed. I need this fixed. I need this done. Okay. No problem. Let's just say I submitted to the situation because, you know, I loved her. I loved her, and because I loved her, that's the reason I go back to her. I helped her. Because it's simply because I loved her. In the end of it, to a certain degree, she took advantage of that to a certain extent. She knew how emotionally vulnerable I was, psychologically vulnerable to some degree, and she took advantage of that fact. I think that's probably the reason I want to. I mean, she wasn't an overly smart woman. She was reasonably smart, but when it came to electronics or anything of that nature, I was always doing something for her, or fixing something for her in that sense. And even from overseas, I could do it. Even from overseas, I could do it. You know, remote access and fixing a computer and things like that. And I never charged her or anything like that. I never asked for any money from her. At the end of it, she did talk about paying me back, but then I thought of it realistically at the end of it. When would she be able to pay me back? When would she ever have enough money to actually do that, you know? And I guess that's the reason I turned around and I thought, you know, I'm not even going to attempt to try and get any money back off her, because I hate to say it, but she was that much of a detriment that I don't think she'd ever pull herself up enough in society, and not just society, but in the world, to be able to actually pay me back in some form or at all, you know? Well, that's my point. I mean, she could have been a catfish, that's distinct. No, well, she wasn't a catfish, because this is my point. I talked to her on webcam 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I know she was real. That's not the issue. On top of that, I checked out her IP addresses. I ran a criminal record check. I know she had some thieving problems, and I know she was involved in a bikie gang. So it's distinctly possible she could have been scammed. And I knew these things. This is my point. I double checked this stuff in the first place, but people seem to think, as I said, because of the way I act sometimes, people have an impression that my cognitive function is actually pretty low, but it's not. This is my point. I pay attention to every single detail. I notice when somebody likes a post on my Facebook. I have notifications that come to my phone. I have programs that pick up all my chat stuff, so I monitor all my stuff, and I know exactly what's going on. And to be honest, sometimes I admit that I've let things happen simply because it was the fact that I love the person, or I feel love for that person, and I've let it happen because I guess when you love someone, you give them leeway, or you let them get away with some things, not all things, but some things. And, you know, I mean, at the end of it, I really could have been an asshole about it. I could have, you know, got the cops after her. There's plenty of things I could have done. There's a ton of things I could have done, actually. I mean, at the end of it, I could have whacked on a voice changer and reported her to the local police using an anonymous IP phoning system. Could have done that. Would have been pretty easy for me to do that, actually. Could have done a lot more too. You know, this is my point. These are some of the things I could have done. I could have traced down certain records. Aside from records, I could have... I mean, I could have turned around and hired a hitman because I was that pissed off with her, you know, when she did that to me. But I didn't. I felt like it. I won't deny that. I felt like it. I really did. I felt like doing it. But I didn't. This is my point. These are all the things I could have done. But I didn't feel she was worth the effort. I didn't feel she was worth the effort at the end because I'm pretty sure that she had a relationship with the guy that she's not currently in a relationship with now. Don't worry, I still keep an eye on her to this day. I feel like she was just faking the entire thing. Not just that, but, you know, like faking the entire relationship, to be honest. And that's what it felt like sometimes. I just didn't want to admit it to myself. It's a problem sometimes, yeah. When you love someone so blindly, you don't want to see it. You don't want to see those problems. You don't want to see those issues. You don't want to see anything. Because all you want to do is love the person. All you want to do is love them, but I don't know, some people could say that I'm holding on to that stuff. Like, why are you holding on to this months and months and months down the track after, like, even a year or so after the track? Because when I love someone, it's a deep thing with me. It's not meant to be a negative. I don't know. No, it's a deep thing with me. It's a deep psychological bond. And it didn't matter whether it was online or not. For me, it was a deep psychological bond. I mean... See, this is probably the reason... I don't know, maybe it's the reason I have issues. I don't have issues with women currently. I mean, I still talk to plenty of different women. The thing is... I mean, it's just mostly on a friend basis, you know. Well, this is my point. I do have a few women. I have probably a fair amount of women who are friends, you know, and I'm friends with them. That's my point. But it's probably the reason I have an issue with trying to connect with... Connect, I guess, but find a woman. Because I don't just want to root someone. I mean, you know, you can get... Fuck. I can go down the road and, like, pay $500 for a decent route. That's not a problem. I can go down the road. I mean, fucking Fishwick. There's fucking plenty of brothels in Fishwick. There's a buck ton. There's a strip club in Fishwick, for fuck's sake. Jesus. I don't want to go down and... I mean, I might want to go to a strip club. Actually, you know what? I probably want to find a type of girl who would go to a strip club with me. But I also want to find a woman that I can intellectually connect with. That's intelligent, well-organised. Not just well-organised, but she has a good mindset, you know. Maybe she can fight back when she needs to. She can give attitude when she needs to. You know. Maybe that's what I want to find. The unicorn of a woman, isn't it? Finding somebody... I guess it's also a bit of a deepness thing, you know. I want to find psychologically, I want to find a woman who's just as crazy as I am in some degree of how they think about things, but also how they perceive the world, I guess. But also somebody who has a deep line for perceiving the entire universe. That's pretty much my way to every day of my life. Seeing the most deepest parts of the universe in my mind. I mean, I create universes abundantly in my head. You know, there's big bangs of creating an entire universe in my head every single day, and it never ever stops. It's a consistent pattern of that all the time. Perhaps I'm too deep for some people. That could be another problem, maybe. Distinctly. Life is amazing. It's amazing because you see so much, you see so little. See, this is my point. When I start talking this way, and I have been known to come on a bit strong with some women, when I come on a bit strong, it stops them from looking at me as a potential mate because of the fact that it's so much to handle at once, you know. It's like, it's so much, I guess you could say, craziness. But I think it's a creative craziness. I have a method to my madness, as it were. And I think the most problem I've ever had is women always reflect badly on that, because as soon as somebody starts talking that way, it's like, what? I mean, to be honest, that woman, okay, the woman I was talking about in question, the one from the US, she, I had my entire life planned out with her. Get married, find a nice house, separate into things, you know, have maybe 1 to 2 kids at maximum. And not just that, but maybe just plan a whole life out, you know, like, I don't know. It's weird that I actually did that, but when I was in the I mean, it was a year-long relationship that I had with her. I spent 24 hours, 7 days a week on Skype with her. And then, yes, I did my YouTube videos in between as well. You probably noticed I was actually a bit more calmer when I was with her. In general, I'd be a bit more calmer about how I'd handle things, not just that, but I tried to include her in things. She's still in my videos to this day. And you know what? I'm probably not going to delete those videos, because those memories, I can say, were pretty fond. I enjoyed those. Even though she did scare me, I mean, okay, it's not the money, I guess it was just the fact that I had my heart broken, and I wanted her to feel the pain I felt. And I don't know whether she did feel it. I don't know. See, it's another factor of being... It's hard to work things like that over the internet sometimes, because whether it's trying to find the person's emotional state, or whether it's just trying to... It's a facial expression thing too with some human beings, but it's also understanding them deep down, you know. I've always been a bit of a belief in that you do bond psychologically and psychically in some ways to the partner that you might find in your life, you know, and that was the problem I found. You know, that was inherently the issue. It's good to have that link to them, you know, or have a link like that to them. Oh, fuck. Deep-seated emotional moments. Shit. I don't pretend to know everybody's choices. I don't pretend to know everything. I know what I know. I feel what I feel. I am human. Human. Human and pure. It's my mentality. Back to reality. Do 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 do. Oh, I feel like singing. I feel like singing now. Why do I feel like singing? Because for the hell of it, I'll sing. Oops. I'm actually going to adjust this stupid motherfucker over there. Right, where'd I put my wig? Just the thought of you. Oh. When I begin. Food mentality. Clown. Because I'm just a big fucking clown. Some days. As I wear my yellow fucking wig and a fucking clown hat. It's actually stitched into one anyway. Ironically, it was actually my dad who got this for me. See, this is the reason I love my dad. My dad does things without even realizing he's actually being quite a fucking fantastic guy by doing it. That's the reason that I love him so, and I hold him up as a good example of what a man should be. Always have. Yep, I will say that's true. Now let me see. Razor siren ready? No. Where is my... where is it? There it is. Enable. Go off to the other one. It's my mentality. Oh, right. Right, so let's see here. I've done that. I've got my wig on. Yeah, that's good. And the other thing I wanted to do is put my... Actually, I do have a couple more beers, so I might go and get another beer. Mentality. Okay, no problem. Mentality. Back to reality. Bella's love. Now, the other night I was actually doing something in a troll group, and I thought it would be beneficial if I did it not in a troll group, but on my YouTube channel. What would I think? I don't know. Sometimes you just feel in a mood to sing a song, do a dance, enjoy yourself. Back to reality. Alright, I actually got to find the songs that I was playing that night, which was Frank Sinatra. Yes, that's right, I love Frank Sinatra. So sue me. Well, I hope they don't sue me. I wouldn't think they would, though. I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to make an impression of the man, to be honest. I mean, it might be a bad impression. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing a shit job of actually doing an impression of him. But you know, what the hell? Why the hell not? I'm in the mood, you know. Mentality. Sometimes they say, because I will be honest. Music to me is a good thing because it does release to a certain extent. It releases your inner self to some degree. Oops. Pause. Wow. Where's my fucking screen? Pause. That didn't help. I'm hoping that you can't hear what I'm playing. I don't think so because I've got you guys on the sound for my Elgato device, which links into my Xbox, so you shouldn't be able to hear what I'm actually playing in the background. Because unfortunately, when it comes to a lot of this stuff, especially if you're doing a copyrighted song, YouTube will tag you really badly for copyrighted songs. It's annoying. What the? Is that? Where is that coming through? I hope that's not coming through the speakers. It's hard to tell which is which at the moment. I don't think so. No, I'm pretty sure it's not. Let me turn this up. Should probably turn this up this way. Oh, it's coming through the fucking speakers. Seriously? That's the problem. No, I know why it's coming through the speakers, because I actually cordoned off one thing, which was the sound for the other one, and I cut off the other sound. Steps, people. It's about steps. It's about doing the right steps, concealing the right sounds. There we fucking go. That might actually work a little better. Jesus Christ. There we go. That's better. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we are cooking with some gas. And some beautiful stuff. And Jesus, wow. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? From the top. Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay. Fly with me, let's fly away. Fly with me, let's float down to Peru. Llama Land, there's a one-man band, and he'll toot his flute for you. With me, break off in the blue. Get you up there, where the air is rarefied. We'll just fly, starry-eyed. Once I get you up there, beholding you so near, you may hear angels cheer, 'cause we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Hear the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly away. Da 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 da. I only have the vocals to back me up, but still. Da dee da dum da 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 dee da da dee da 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 dum da 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 dee da dum. Say, get you up there, where the air is rarefied. We'll just fly, starry-eyed, once I get you up there, beholding you so near. You may hear dangerous fear, 'cause we're together. Weather-wise, it's such a lovely day. Say the words and we'll beat the birds down to Acapulco Bay. It's perfect for a flying honeymoon, they say. Come fly with me, let's fly, let's fly. Pack up, let's fly away. That is a good Frank. Oh, shit, my beer is being an arsehole. Hold on for a second. Is the next song I was going to play? Oh, New York, New York. That's the one I was going to actually try. I'm going to see if it actually works. If that works out, because I don't know, I sounded okay on it, I guess, to a certain extent, but it was sort of, yeah, in between that, okay. All right. It's good luck, people. The lucky stars shit. I don't know. We'll just get that. Whatever. Spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. On shoes, longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. Little town blues I'm melting away. A brand new start of it on New York. If I could make it there, it's anywhere. Up to you, New York, New York. Verse, of course. Bloody New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps. And I'm run above the list, king of the hill, number one. Little Barn Blues. Are melting on away. Yeah, I'm losing the momentum anyway, too. I'm gonna make a new start of it. New York, New York. And if I could make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. look indeed. See, this is the thing. I think I picked the wrong fucking song. That I picked somebody who's not synced the lyrics up correctly. That's my point. If you're gonna do karaoke, at least choose the fucking song that has the proper linked up. Well, stuff that's actually got the linked up. Like that. It wasn't. My point is, it wasn't linked up properly. The fuck is wrong with you? I have no idea. I'm mad, insane, totally off my brain. Okay, come fly with me. There's a lot of these songs in there. I was looking at some of these other songs as well, like, oh, Fly Me to the Moon, that's another one too that I like. I'm gonna try this. There's no lyrics either. To the moon, and we play among the stars. It's like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hands. In other words, don't kiss me. Fill my heart with song, meaning forevermore. All I long for, and worship and adore. In other words, these be true. In other words, I love you. Da 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 dum da 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 dee da 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 dum da da dee da 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 dum. In other words, I hold your hand. So actually, there's no words. It's just the middle verse. You know, the intersection between the music and the words. Anyway, so it's a commonality of most musical patterns. My heart with song is evermore. You're all I long for, and I worship and adore. In other words, this be true. Ooh, that's some. In other words, love you. Indeed. Frank Sinatra. I do love my Frank Sinatra though. I'm a classical man. I love modern songs too. I just can't sing them for shit because it's just not suited to my voice. Oh well, shit happens. Okay, there's another song too. Okay. Let's try that one again. Okay. Gotta find the right version of it though. See, I believe this song can be sung by a woman or a man depending on who you've got to sing it in question. Let's try this guy. This song. This song, definitely. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Good night, dear, when I lay sleeping, and I held you in my arms. And look, dear, again, on my hand, right. my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. I don't care whether I sound shithouse. I could sound shithouse. I just think they put some money in. I probably do sound shithouse to some people. Maybe. I don't know. I've been told by a percentage of people, though, that I don't actually have that bad a singing voice. Shine, my only sunshine, you make me happy when skies are grey. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away. I do think that song can be sung by someone who's male or female, depending on the situation, of course. Depends on the voice you use, too. So, I don't know. It's probably the type of song you can actually sing with, you know, a certain degree of, you know, I always go for the deep tones anyway. It's not a problem. Ooh, what do you mean? What we got here? Holy shit. Christ. I don't know, see, nobody does the baritone stuff anymore, that's the thing. It's not a big thing these days. I don't know. With the way things come and go in styles of music, it's so fucking adamant that eventually that's going to come back at some point. That's the truth. But, I mean, you know, it might take a while to come back. Oh, what other songs do I like? The night I looked this up, I think I was pretty. I had a few beers, so obviously my mind wasn't as focused as I'm relatively sober at the moment. What's the name of this song? Let me see. Ah, that's it. That's the one. Yeah, that's the one. So I'm gonna go with that. Oh. Go. That's the one. With lyrics? With lyrics, yes. That'll work for me. That'll work for me very nicely. He's seen you in all the old familiar places. All this heart of mine embraces all day through. In that small cafe, that park along the way, the children's carousel, the chestnut trees, the wishing well. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day. In everything that's light and gay, I'll always think of you that way. Find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. Sorry, it's a middle intersection of the song. So I should be just like doing my normal thing. Da 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 dee dee, da da dum da da dee. This is a little more of a jazzy version of the song. I'm used to the traditional version. Da 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 dee, da 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 dum da da. I'll be seeing you in every lovely summer's day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. and you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you. I will do you in the early brights, when the night is new, and I'll be looking at the moon. Ugh, I sort of fucked that up anyway. Look at that, seeing me and you. I don't even know what the hell I was attempting there. That was more of a jazzy version of the song. I don't like that. I mean, I sort of like it, but I don't know. My voice sort of... it depends. See, this is my point. I could probably atone and sort of fix my voice to do certain things, but it's always a question of a little more, not reprogramming, but I could say just a little more, it's suiting the voice to the situation, of course, adjusting yourself appropriately for it. It's a bit of a thing for me, I guess, to a certain extent. I sing, but I don't, most of the time, whenever I have actually sung before, it's always been when I've actually been quite inebriated to firstly start with. I'm not even that inebriated right now. I'm quite mellow, you know. I mean, I've only had 2 beers, so that's my point. So yeah, I've had situations where that's happened. Depends on the situation, of course. But looking from a different perspective. Anyway, yay! Isn't that wonderful? Jesus Christ, Superstar. I don't know, the world is full of classics, non-classics. I do love Frank Sinatra, though. Frankie is my favourite band. La da 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 dee da dum da 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 dee. Yeah, it's a lot of different things going through my head, I guess. In the circumstances I am feeling. It is funny with that, though, you know. I do find that's an issue. If guys, like, this is something that I've come across. If you're friends with a woman, right, people assume automatically that you're doing more with that person or with that woman. And inherently it might not just be the fact, I mean, it might not be the fact that you're even doing anything with a woman. But I mean, I don't know, I've always been the classic guy. I mean, I don't know, I flirt sometimes, I admit that, I actually do. I flirt like a motherfucker. Particularly if I've had a couple of drinks or something like that, and I think we're all entitled to flirt occasionally. It's okay. I mean, the only time that it can be an issue is if you're flirting with someone and you don't necessarily it goes a little too far. I get that. I sort of understand that, you know. And there's probably inappropriate situations where you're going to apologise. The other side of it too, as I said, everybody's different with how they think of things and how they look at things. You know, I've always been the type of guy, I'll casually flirt, and I have learned a lot of different flirting techniques from, you know, doing stuff online. And the thing is, I get a little misjudged for it, or because of it, and, like, you know, I'm not actually that bad at flirting, like, once I do it, you know, once I do it properly. The other side of it, too, is, you know, in most cases, I have a tendency to know what to say to a person to get the right reaction, because I've been around people long enough to know that, well, some people are going to react bad to this, some people aren't. And it depends on who you're talking to, too. I mean, it's different with, you know, when you're in a private conversation with somebody, you're going to act differently, of course. But, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I'm the opposite. Sometimes I put it all out there. I just, you know, bang, there it is. You know, you either see it or you don't. But I have been told by people in my life that I can be quite charming when I want to, and I choose to be. I mean, at the end of it, I'm not perfect, but, you know, I've been told that I have a certain degree of charm in my personality. I'm not perfect, you know, nobody's perfect. We're all entitled to fuck up on life, but I have been told that I can be charming. And, you know what, I have been told that I'm not that bad looking either, by some women and some guys. Actually, even guys, I've been told by guys that, you know what, I actually appreciate the fact, you know, like a few guys, I mean, fuck, you know, it's good to hear that I actually do look good. You know, I do have a certain degree of sex appeal and a certain degree of attractiveness that, well, qualities that attract people, that's the thing. So, you know what, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm pretty happy that, well, it boosts my confidence to a certain extent, because I guess sometimes I lose my confidence, and I lose that level of confidence in myself, I guess, because I feel bad sometimes, I guess, for things that have happened or done, or I don't know, it's like a guilt thing. This is actually a statistical thing with schizophrenia. You can have certain situations where it's happened that you'll feel guilty, but you won't have actually done anything really bad. It'll just be the fact that you'll be made to feel guilty because simply because you have schizophrenia, it makes you feel guilty automatically anyway. It's like something that comes out of it automatically, and I kind of find it interesting. Which Discord is that, my friend? Most likely I could have been drunk. Distinctly possible. Hold on a second, somebody's messaging me on Discord because they want to know how I found something when apparently I'm not subbed. I didn't even realise I wasn't subbed on that channel. That's hilarious. See, this has happened to me too, though. I've actually got quite creative when I've got drunk, and I've managed to get into things that people couldn't think I could actually get into. I'm pretty good at that, so let's have a quick squeeze and see what it says here. Huh. Not sure offhand, man. Which Discord are you talking about? Not sure, man. Who is this? Well, it's not. It's okay. That's fine. Who's this person? Let's check out their Discord. View profile. Huh. That's weird, I am subbed. Facebook, Twitch, Anyway, not the point. Getting back to where I was. That's weird, I thought I was subbed. I'm on the channel, so I'm on the Discord channel. I got into the server. I don't know how I couldn't have got into the server. It does surprise me though, sometimes I've done some things and I'm like, how the hell did I do that? There was a couple of times that's actually happened to me in my life. I've literally woken up in the morning, like after having a fair amount of drinks and stuff like that, and I've gone like, how the hell did I do that? Really? Like what? Is there actually something involved there? How is that? Really? Please. But I am subbed. I'm definitely subbed to her channel. Damn sure I am. Actually, I have a 3-month subscription. Oh my god, I'll be right back. I need to get another beer. And I actually need to pee too. I'll be right back. Bye. think I know where the confusion came out of it. I'm actually a different name on this server. I'm a different name from what I actually am on Twitch. Hold on a moment and I'll send that person a message. Saying that my name on Twitch is Fallen Gaming 949, and I on here it's Fallen 949. It's pretty much the same association anyway. Okay, back to where I was. Finding my brain. Always somebody trying to scam me or something. Close that. Nice to meet you. I have a random question for you. I've noticed you're not subbed. How did you find this Discord server? That's how I found it, dude. Through plenty of other websites. And on top of that, I listen to her stream through regularly, so yeah. That's another part of it. I don't know if it's on the internet, I can hunt it down. That's not the problem. It involves a lot of OCD shit, especially because I'm an obsessive person when it comes to a lot of things in my life. Including the internet and including IT technology. Technology, bitches. I love it. I don't know, everything is publicly available for me though, like even my Facebook stuff. You can see my personal Facebook. You can't see everything on my personal Facebook. There's some things that I've blocked off because I had problems with scammers and spammers and trolls and shit. Not that I mind trolling, but you gotta have a little privacy in life. You gotta have a little tiny bit, just occasionally. It doesn't hurt anybody. I find it interesting though that it's ironic that somebody actually asked me about that. It's like, I can't find you subbed. How did you find this Discord server? That cracks me up though. I don't know. I sub everybody. This is my thing. I'm a subomatic whore. That's my problem. I sub a lot of people because I always think of the benefit of it. I mean, I'm sort of sub for sub type guy. I like sub for subs. I've always been that way. But not just sub for subs. I also like the fact of if I'm going to do something, I let's see my channel. Oh no, I don't want to go attention. What the hell? Okay, so I'm going to go back and play my games. Games! Okay, I'm going to go back to GTA 5 anyway. So sorry, I was singing. You know, you can either say cringeworthy or not. Depends on the situation, of course. Really? Snow is glistening. Run away. A wonderful sound, a wonderful night, a walking in the Oh shit. I hate getting tangled in wires. You know, I love the convenience of wires because they make you feel a lot better. And generally having something wired into your router is much better than not. So, I don't mind it. But the frustrating thing about wires is you get tangled up in them every fucking time. Including if you're drunk or you have, say, got a bit stoned. You will find at times that issues will happen at certain times Well, they will happen in some situations. Gaming talk show. Feelings. I'm just gonna save my title. Change some of that shit around. What the fuck is going on with my brain? Questionable sanity, people. That's the problem. You can find anybody these days. You can even message a fucking YouTube. Well, you can message YouTubers. Whether they actually respond is another question. So, I've never got a direct message off anybody myself, but. It's all about the roller coasters, people. Don't forget those roller coasters. There's lots of those roller coasters, man. Actually, I've got to point out. Actually, while I'm here, I'm gonna plug my nephew's channel. If anybody is interested in his channel, he does Let's Plays. It is Cannon Productions, by the way. Where is it? The faded. What the hell? Oh, it's on my page. So let's see. We got my nephew here. He does a lot of different stuff. I love my nephew. He's brilliant. He's brilliant because he did that stuff that I showed you today. But he also has his own YouTube channel as well, which he's got 233 subscribers at the moment. He's got more than mine have. I got 144. But he's a good kid. I love him to bits. Not just that, but he lived with me for a few years. So, hence the reason I still love him to bits to this day. Anyway, you notice he's here. Just pass you onto his channel. Let me just... This is his channel, Cannon Productions, by the way. He does a bunch of Let's Play. He does a bunch of Let's Plays. He does a bunch of Let's Plays. The Wolf of... I mean, he's done a ton of them anyway. He did Breach Commander, Bioshock, and his ordering system's a lot better than mine. I mean, to be honest, he's a little more well organised in some degree with some things than the way he does it. I admire him for that, actually, because of the way he does the stuff he does. I mean, I do stuff my way, he does stuff his way. You know, it's sort of... To be honest, I wouldn't mind... I might ask him at some point to do some editing work for me, maybe. I will see. I'll see how the future works out anyway. But my point is, I mean, I don't know. I've done editing work myself, but it's very minimal. I need to learn more about it. Because I don't edit a lot of stuff. That's the reason I live stream. So yeah, we got Cannon Plays. I mean, this is my point. He's got a bunch of this. He's got The Wolf Among Us. He's got a bunch of other games that he plays as well. He's been a big Minecraft person too. There's a lot of Let's Play stuff and everything else. He generally does have a very nice channel. Why am I not subscribed to Angry Aussie? Jesus Christ, I'm an idiot. Firstly, because I really liked his channel. I've watched some of his stuff before. And Jacob even showed me before as well. Why am I not subscribed to some of these people? I know. Anyway, that's alright. That's alright. He's featured me on his channel anyway. That's alright. But that's my point. He's on my main channel page anyway. But this Cannon Productions, he has some good stuff. He also has some point too. It's about creative stuff as well. The industry and how the creative industry is. But he's a good kid, and you should feel free to check out some of his Let's Plays. He's always got great content. He hasn't done anything lately because he hasn't got everything set up directly for his YouTube per se. I mean, I've probably got things better set up to a certain extent than he does when it comes to certain stuff that I might want to do on YouTube. He's a little better set up in that sense. So yeah. Direct message. I never have a problem with people direct messaging me. Direct message me. Go right ahead. Hit me with your best shot. I'm pretty much an open book. I try to be anyway. What did I click then? What is it? D-log box? What the fuck is that shit? There we go. So feel free to check out his content. It's always gnarly. Just gonna check something. I do actually need to look at this computer. I'm going to do a video of that at some point. I'm looking at my nephew's computer and working on it. So yeah, see how it goes. He's doing some assignments at the moment. So I said to him, look, he said to me, next weekend I could take the computer for the weekend to look at it. And he said, okay. I said, not a problem. I will do that. Not a problem. I can do that. And I said, I'm going to have to get my workshop back because unfortunately my nephews and nieces were actually living with me for a while. Or at least 2 of them were. Staying with me for about 6 weeks. So it was joyful, but it was also stressful. So yeah. It's alright. Hold on a moment. Yeah, anyway, I love my nephews and nieces. I love my family. They drive me nuts, but I still love them. I love them to pieces. With Mises. Yeah. Yeah. That's my... Anyway, there's actually some business cards I got printed up a while ago. But this is actually what my business logo, or my logo is. This is my logo, pretty much. So, yeah. I love these, though. Yeah, well, I need to get some more printed of these up. I need to print some more of these up and actually put my proper website on it, because it's still got the original Wix site that I had on there. It's not that I mind having the Wix site on there, but these are obviously dated, so I have to actually buy myself some new ones. I don't know whether I do that right now, though. At this point, it's sort of catch-22 thing. I might do it. I'm going to see how it feels. See how it goes. Maybe should put some music on. What's this one? Oh, that's not it. What the fuck? That works. Yeah, never mind. Okay, nothing. I'm going to listen to some music, because I'm in the mood to listen to some music, because, you know, music just drives the world forward. Okay, Maroon. Love it all. I can't believe it. That's healing okay. I burnt my finger a couple of days because I had when I was lighting my pipe. I had this acetylene torch, but she's got some kick to her. Acetylene, no butane torch. Sorry. Fire, bitch, fire. See, this is the thing that I find kind of interesting, that everybody seems to think that people who are mentally ill are easily influenced. The only time that I ever become easily influenced is maybe when I've had a few too many drinks. Like, you know, people pushing me to do something, and I'm going, but in most cases, I'm pretty sensitive about my shit, you know? So, I think the only time I've ever had a negative experience, some negative experiences I've had in my life have been maybe when I've drunk a little too much. So, I drink to a certain point. No. Deep in your love. Apparently in Maroon 5.
Wow!
Is that it? I'll make good love and I'm making alright. A little sweetness in your life. Deep in your love. Make it loving, make it alright. Little Christmas in your. Alright, so just gonna, let's exit out of that anyway. Let's see. It's always finding people and knowing what you want out of life. I'll be right back. Looks interesting. So was it? It's like an Italian restaurant. Interesting. Well, yeah. No, I mean it's the thing with Italians. It's not just pizza that is the main. Like, yeah, okay, pizza's a big thing. No, I realise that, but there's other pasta dishes as well. There's other dishes in Italy that, you know, especially generally in the Italian dishes, there's a variety of different pasta dishes. So there's a lot of, that's the thing, you know. Oh. Italian dishes, people, Italian dishes. No, my dad was just watching not a documentary. What the hell was it? It was a no, it was a news sort of broadcast on Italy wanting to have more emphasis on different dishes aside from pizza. I mean, pizza is a traditional thing for most people in Italy, but yeah. the reason I don't have flu shots anymore. I was talking to somebody who, apparently she had a flu shot, and she had a bad reaction to it. It really hit her in the ass. She's been really sick. Hence, I don't get flu shots anymore. I don't even touch flu shots with a 10-foot fucking pole, to be honest. So, yeah. The last cold I got was my nephew. And that was only because, yeah. It's only because he was living in the house at the time, so yeah, it was only nothing to do with that. I need to change some of this. Actually, I need to edit this part. Shit. It just seems like if you're not basically streaming the latest games, of late, it seems like people just ignore you. It's kind of fucking retarded, to be honest. I don't get the point. It seems like that. Choose an existing community. Okay. Interesting. I guess so. We'll just go that because I do want to actually change some people's opinions of shit. We'll go with that, but that sounds good. No, I do actually do. I do plan. Liz, I don't know. I at least want to be some type of positive. Yeah, I guess I'm pushing my own agenda a bit. Admittedly, I do post links to my friends about some of the stuff I get up to, but I mean, I post directly to my Facebook. Sometimes if I got good friends and I know they might be interested in some of the content I want to convey, I might actually post stuff to them as well. So it's a combinance of that in most cases. Sure, whatever. Jesus. Alright. I don't plan to get too hammered tonight. I was just gonna have a couple of drinks. That's my point. I've only really had one. I've had 3 beers so far. This is my 4th now, so you know, it's not so bad. She's been pretty sick. I think she's been sick the last few weeks, so I do feel a fair degree of sympathy for people. I mean, I hate getting sick. I hate getting a cold or anything like that. It's fucking frustrating. You feel like you feel like crap, and you don't feel like you're functioning at all. You just it can generally be the worst thing to deal with in the world. I have sympathy for those people. I have sympathy for people who have that stuff happen to them. You know, it's just. I do know. I will say though that I don't like this segregation thing. I never have. Mrs. Pauline frickin' Hanson, Mrs. Racist. Because she really, I mean, truthfully, if you think about it, she is pretty racist. I do hate the shit that is coming out from Pauline Hanson. Like some of the shit she's been saying about disabled or autistic kids. It's... I'm sorry, that just doesn't make sense to me. See, here's the thing though. See, some people don't consider streaming to be work. This is actually, there is just some degree of work involved in this. Firstly, I've got to set the damn thing up, which is not always the fucking most easiest task in the world. That's the first part of it. I don't know. See, as I said, people who don't know what it's like to set this stuff up have no fucking idea exactly what's involved of getting streaming up and running. I mean, look. If you truly knew the amount of work that went into it, you probably would give up and probably not fucking do it. I mean, the truth is, the other side of it too is I do actually earn a bit of money out of doing some of this stuff. It's not as if I don't earn any money out of it, you know? So, I mean, it's not always a massive amount of money. But I earn something out of it. Jesus. Sometimes I actually earn it after I've streamed, to be honest. But, I mean, there's certain times where I've earned money while I've been streaming too, so... It's like 49 cents or something, but that's still funny. Yeah, that's the thing. I do actually earn money out of this. A massive amount. It's a slow earning process because sometimes you don't always make as much as you want, and sometimes you'll make as very little. I think I made my first significant amount a little while ago. And the thing is, you've got to be working yourself to always wanting to get views or getting people to view your videos. Well, I mean, yeah, that's the truth. You don't push your own agenda and push your own stuff, then you don't get views. Do some of this. think some people get jealous though of the fact that I'm sitting on my ass to do this job. I admit that, but it's not at all about sitting on your ass. It's all about being creative and good with the content that you create. Right? Not just that, but it's also pushing the content that you have to create. I have to push my advertisements and everything else every day of my life. I mean, this is pretty much, you know, I have to get up and do 24/7 stuff, and it's not fucking easy doing this shit. I mean, I'm kind of pissed with people assuming this is fucking easy. That's the thing I think that gets me the most about some people's attitude towards people who earn money for YouTube or whatever. You think it's fucking easy? You fucking try it, cunt. Like, seriously, that's my fucking point. I don't get people's attitude towards others or people who want to earn money this way, because I don't think there's anything wrong with this. I earn money out of this, but I also do my repairs on the other side of it, right? This is my point. I'm not... It's not just one thing that I do, you know?
We have a visual on the target. You disgust me. Don't you move another muscle. Get that son of a bitch!
I don't know. I'm not accusing people of being that way, but sometimes it feels that way, I guess. I'm out of explosives. That is annoying. A little bit lag.
Young staff associates and... But sir...
A little bit of lag. It's all good. So anyway, back to what I was saying. As I said, most of the streaming stuff is, I mean, it depends on the degree of difficulty, but I mean, it requires a certain amount of equipment to do the job. Not just that, but I mean, even though I try to be a positive influence on my streamers if I can help it. Nobody is perfect though, admittedly. We all have moments where we're going to give out toxic or negative behaviour that perhaps will reflect badly on the world. you know, that's distinctly possible. I don't have no doubts about it. But at the end of the day, I try to remain positive with most of the things I say to people.
Hey there.
Particularly because I have 144 subscribers. Okay, that's not as much as a lot of other YouTubers, but I have been building my subscriber base very slowly. And, you know, it took me a fair amount of years to get where I am now. At the end of it, too, it also depends whether you... Okay, I've always been the type of guy, I push the envelope. I have controversial subjects that I cover. Fuck. And that's my point, so... Okay, so what do we need? Weapons.
Had Cletus in here earlier. Picking up something special for his girl.
There you go.
Non-refundable, I should add.
I'm going to steal that one because I like it. I don't know, as I said, I've always tried to paint things in a good light if I could help it. I mean, most of the time there's going to be situations where, you know, you're going to... Well, there's going to be certain situations where you influence or don't influence people to a certain extent, you know? I've concluded in the long run, though, that, you know, I guess there's always going to be those people and those specific people who they feel the need to be negatively influential towards certain situations or certain people in life. So you know what, you know, as I said, it's not everybody that I consider to be that bad, but you know, I don't know. There's going to be certain situations in life where there's going to be a negative one. Why would I do that? Wow, you believe that? It's an act, dumbass. Okay, so this is hilarious. This is one of these trolling cunts. I always love fucking with these guys. I do fuck with these guys legitimately in the troll groups I'm in. But he reckons he was like, I'll hack into his phone or something like that. I'll send him a link to a virus. So no, I wouldn't fucking do that. I'm not that fucking man. Jesus Christ. What the hell is... Seriously, like... Smoke something else. You need something better. Whatever you're smoking is not calming you down. I don't need link to do. I love how people seem to think that hacking is so fucking adamant on the way it treats you or whatever. It's fucking hilarious. It really, it gets me like, okay, so, so you think that somebody can you think somebody's going to send you a random link? Firstly, okay, anybody... I'm always in everybody's head. Yeah. I'm in everybody's head. It's funny, so anyway, that's my point. You don't. This is my point. You don't need to send somebody a fucking random link. Like, it's ironic how people seem to think. You know, it's ironic how some people seem to think hacking works. I mean, you can send somebody a link to a virus or a Trojan or whatever, but that's part of it. I mean, there's so much more you can do. I mean, firstly, you can hack the networks in question. I mean, I hate to say it, but the irony is that not every company these days, and I know because I've done work for a few businesses, is that not every company has really good security. I hate to say it, but some of these dipshits, I wonder how the fuck they actually still stay in business with the fact that their customer databases have been hacked so many fucking times. I was like, Jesus Christ, really? I mean, okay, you know, if it's somebody like me, for example, fixing their customer database so it's secure, it's fine. But if it's somebody that I don't know and somebody's just obviously doing a fucking shitty-ass job, or maybe they did a shitty-ass job because they didn't get paid enough for the job in the first place, it's ironic that I find that with a percentage of these people people seem to think there's like, oh, no, I'm not going to click that link. No, that'll send me a virus. It's viral. That's bad, you know? No, just because you click a fucking link. You can get a fucking virus or a Trojan from fucking visiting a website. That's the truth. I mean, anybody who doesn't believe that is probably a fucking idiot, but... it's cold. That shit is actually quite funny. That's probably a transcript from somebody doing a live stream. Oh yes, that is actually quite funny. I like that one. That's probably a freaking transcript from somebody doing like a live stream on CS:GO or something like that, or fucking Call of Duty. I bet you any money that's probably the exact transcript that's going fucking on. Oh my god, that would be the exact trend. Oh my god. It's called fucking lawsuit, Harry. No, Dad. That's just fucked up. Oh, dear. That sounds like a transcript out of a CS:GO game or somebody playing either Call of Duty. I've watched a few Call of Duty streams and stuff like that. Yeah, definitely I'm going to say that. That's probably a transcript, exactly what it is. Pretty close to, maybe. Oh, wow, that was hilarious. But that would actually be quite funny. Okay, anyway, going back. But this is my point about hacking and stuff. At the end of it, it comes down to what... Okay, firstly, as somebody who's in the IT industry who's seen people hack, not just that, but I've seen plenty of people fuck around with people's stuff online, whether it's glitching stuff out. Someone's going to be... Maybe you glitch a payment out, you glitch something else out, and somebody orders double of whatever they order. There's tons of different ways of hacking someone, and the truth is, most of it relates to the fact that... I mean, okay, me as a personal preference point, I don't hack... I mean, it takes a hell of a lot for me to hack someone. It takes a hell of a lot for me to get pissed off, alright? In the first place, I know my security is pretty ironclad in most cases, so I've never had an issue with it myself. But I've seen plenty of people online who've had situations where they're not putting in they're not having a new. Okay, firstly, they're not either the combination of not using an authenticator or not using extra password security. The other thing too that you got to realize is that most server systems are based on Linux anyway. They do they? Well, isn't that lovely? You should like film that, dude. You should like film that and put it up on Facebook. Because I'm telling you, Facebook gets away with a ton of shit. I got banned off fucking Facebook for like fucking apparently exposing my. Okay, apparently this Facebook considers my nipple to be nudity, man. Facebook thinks that this is nudity. This is not fucking nudity. My nipple is not nudity. Well, sorry, my man boobs are not nudity. Is my point is. This is my fucking point. Like, what the fuck? I got banned. Oh no, I got blocked from posting on Facebook for 3 fucking days, right? Because apparently my man boobs are nudity. Interesting, that, isn't it? And that's where my whole fucking speech came from. Pretty much came from, it's like, oh, Facebook hates free speech. And I get banned, I get like blocked for 3 days. It's like, oh, fuck you, cunts. I'm like, what the fuck's that shit? Fuck me sideways. But this is my fucking point. This is the shit that I'm trying to point out. You know, like, whether it's hacking or whether it's anything that you do in your life these days, fucking hell. I use Facebook for some of my advertising. I mean, that's the thing. I have to use them anyway. I've got no real choice because they're a bigger medium in certain areas. I could use certain other companies, but I haven't chosen to do that anyway. That's my fucking... This is entire... Instagram for live. I actually have Instagram. So that's not a problem. I do actually have it. This is my point. There's certain things when you come to legitimate business like me. I'm an IT technician, firstly, and I have my own business. So I can sort of advertise some things on Instagram, but not every single thing. Some things, some not, depending. But I will admit, Facebook has been fucking annoying me with their free speech closing down bullshit that they've been using. It's been fucking annoying me. That's the problem. Jesus Christ, superstar. Ballsack. Batman. Oh, Christ. Okay, I'm back. Message retracted. What, did you feel that the message that you sent me was too trollish or it was too extreme for me? I can accept a lot of trollish messages. That's not the issue. You know, if you're gonna hit me with a message in a trollish comment, go right the fuck ahead. I'm actually not just talking about Trojans, dude. That's not the entirety of everything that I'm talking about. Okay, firstly, that's... Okay, this is the context of it anyway, but... I'm a computer technician. What the fuck do you expect me to talk about? Okay, that's the first part of it. I know how to troll. That's not a problem. That's not an issue. I can do deeper shit than that. I can do darker shit. The problem is, I tend to want to influence people to a better extent, especially when it comes to YouTube. I try to be a better influence on people. But you know what? I can give as good as I get when it comes to my trolling shit. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that working in a troll. I can see that working in a Call of Duty or CSGO. Most CSGO players will rage. I rage, but I rage for legitimate reasons. I rage for legitimate reasons. I also rage because I'm psychologically unstable, you know. But the thing is, I play psychologically... See, this is the thing. I am quite unstable. That's not the issue. But I can go from 0 to 40 in like 2 seconds, or a millisecond even. This is my point. I can switch from being totally psychotic to being totally fucking charming, and the most beautiful, wonderful, compassionate human being you ever see on the planet. And I can switch between those two modes depending on my kind of preference. This is my point. I'm actually able to switch between those two things. So
Back off, wacko.
most people aren't. Most people are just... They're what I would classify as psychologically, they don't have a switch system. They can't switch. They can't switch from one to the other, and you know. I think the key to trolling though is most trolls want to actually affect how you see things or how you perceive the world. Not just that, but they actually want to affect how you think of things. Not well. It's sort of that, but it's also a big component of how you see things as how you. They want to make you feel like you're weak or insignificant. That's actually the truth. Every troll that I've ever come across, it's like, it's always the same pattern of behaviour. It's always the same context. But I mean, I don't know. I think I see the relevance of... Actually, I do see a bit of a good pattern of behaviour with trolling. Is that you strengthen people's resolve and psychological makeup. You make them more stronger to see the world. Not just see the world, but you see the world for what it really is. Not just that, but it gives the person a sense of inner strength, and it stops them from being a little... It makes them mentally strong. By trolling them, you're making them mentally strong. You're giving them strength internally and psychologically. It's a big part of that mechanism of trolling, and it always has been. I don't proclaim to know everything, and fucked if I know, you know. Some days I just feel like a mentally retarded fucking giant ape. But, you know, that's just me, occasionally. Actually, no, it's probably me half the time. You know what? I do good for a mentally retarded ape, because I fucking hit my keyboard like a motherfucker and it works. This is my point. I can fucking troll myself till the day, till the cows come home. I can say that I look like a fat, lazy stoner cunt. That's not part of that strip. Yes, I'm fat. But I'm not lazy. That's definitely not part of it. I've never been lazy. That's not the thing. I am fat though. I'm a fat fuck. I'm the fattest fuck you'll ever... Well, no, actually there's fatter people than me. I know some people bigger than me, so, you know, ironically, I'm not the fattest person in the world. Views, alright. See, you know what I've been seeing? A lot of people who've been getting kid figures and stuff and shit like that. Overwatch is a big thing, because I watch a lot of different streams and shit. And Overwatch has become such a big fucking thing with certain streamers and certain... But it's a big thing on Twitch. Overwatch. I don't have it personally, I'd have to buy a subscription, so, you know, I mean, I don't have the money right now. But my point is, Overwatch is a big fucking thing with people. Like, Overwatch, if you can rank up in Overwatch and be fucking, you know, big boss, big motherfucker in Overwatch, people really love you. Like, that's the shit that broke the fucking, that's the shit that broke the camel's back. Pretty much. And the thing that I've concluded with a lot of that is, though, it's if you're not on the latest, greatest fucking game, most of the time you get waysided with Twitch. Like, Twitch will just say, oh, you're playing GTA 5, well, that's fucking console, man, what the fuck are you doing that? It's like, oh, yeah, I'm playing this greatest game, it's like, fuck you, man, oh, fuck you. Yeah, pretty much, that's how it feels. When, you know, and this is my point, I'm playing the game because I love it, but...
How's it going?
$400 gaming setup. Actually, that's not bad, man. You could probably get something okay for $400. Like, if you skimped on a couple of components and did secondhand, like just slightly secondhand stuff, but you could still do good. $400 is not bad, considering that's not a bad budget. On YouTube, Twitch, it's only really started to pay a bit more now. I know YouTubers and stuff that make a lot more than me, and I've seen them, I've come across them, and I know that it's probably just because they push certain limits. I'm a little down on some of my limits, so I've got to get further myself. But I'll be honest, dude. Firstly, I'm an IT technician and I'm a repairer. I repair from home, so I make more money out of fixing a computer and getting rid of viruses and doing malware checks and fucking building gaming computers from home than I do on YouTube at this point. I do YouTube primarily as a fun thing. It's like, I want to have fun, I want to relax, I want to enjoy myself, alright? That's the thing. That's what I do it for. Now, I did just make my first amount of money out of YouTube recently, and I'm quite surprised that I did, but it took me a fair few years to get this. It took me a fair... I mean, I've been on YouTube probably about 6 or 7 years or something. Something roughly around that anyway. My point is... No, it's probably 10 or 11. 10 or 11 years is my point. I've been on here a long time. But all the stuff that I ever document is stuff that I do technically, like tech stuff. Like, it's all me being... It's talking about tech and how to build something, how to fix something, how to reorganize something, how to do something. It's all about that. And that's how I'm made. Most of my money has been made out of me repairing people's computers. I do that because, okay, firstly, I have the qualifications. They're down on the bed. That's alright. My point is, I have my qualifications. I have my cert 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3, 4, pretty much. And pretty much after the cert 4, you go for a degree. That's as far as I got. I went like, okay, fuck it. I've almost got to my degree, and it's like, okay, never mind. I'll have my cert 4. The truth is, my cert 4 is enough to make. How much do I make? Well, on average, it depends, dude. Sometimes I make a lot of money, sometimes I don't. Per repair, I charge $75 per hour, right? Per repair. That's per hour on normal rates, right? $75 per hour. So, say I do 2 hours worth of labour, that's 75 plus 75. If I'm, say, for example, I'm working on somebody who's a student, it's 60 and 60, so it's pretty much $60 per hour if it's a student. If it's somebody who's like on a concession card, this is a thing which is in Australia, if you're on a concession card, it's like $45 per hour. So I make 45, right? 40 or 45 per hour, right? Of work that I do. Here's the thing. Sometimes I make a lot, sometimes I make very little. It depends on how many repairs I get. Now, if I make a gaming machine, for example, like a nice gaming machine, normally if I'm building it myself, I charge upwards of $2,000, depending on the machine that you want. If you want a gnarly machine, you're looking at least $2,000 to get a decent good gaming machine with nice fucking SSDs, fucking fuckload of RAM, you know, a nice processor, decent amount of hard drive space to be able to put games and do YouTube production. I mean, $2,000, you probably look at that. I mean, my rig right here next to me, I've spent about $5,000 on the cunts. In its entire lifetime, I've probably spent about $5,000. Yep, in total. Now, here's the thing. I budgeted most of my stuff though. Whenever I used to buy anything, I used to always make sure it was on special on online sites. Like, well, not Newegg. Okay, Newegg's one example of it. Newegg's one example. But there's a bunch of Australian sites that I regularly go to which have great pricing, and I always make sure they get the best price. I'm a bargain hunter. You want a salad, man? You want a salad? It's always. I like salad. I like steak too. I like a nice piece of juicy piece of steak. I love a fucking T-bone about this motherfucking big. I love my meat. I'm a meat man. That's the truth. I'm a meat motherfucker, and I love my meat. I'm a protein-orientated individual, and I will not deny myself that, and I will not deny. Actually, I have nothing against vegans or vegetarians. If you're vegan or vegetarian, choose to go that way. Good on you. You know what? That's your choice. I choose meat. But I will say, though, if you come over to my house and I have to give you a meal, I will be appropriate and considerate, and I will find you a vegetarian supplement. Supplement? Now I'm thinking of vitamins. A vegetarian substitute. That's the word I was looking for. A vegetarian or vegan substitute. I'm happy to accommodate to those type of people. And this is my point. I've seen plenty of guys who eat meat, and it's like, oh, fucking eat some bacon, you cunt, you fucking little weak cunt. You know, no, I don't have a problem with... I love mushrooms, to be honest. Well, that's exactly the other point, dude. I do love meats. I've never had problem with meat. I'm a meat man. I'm a meat man and a major meat man. I love my fucking sausage. I love my fucking steak. I love a good old-fashioned hamburger with, you know, with like a freaking hamburger about this top with like a lot of vegetables. You know, a fried egg on there. Fuck. Traditionally in Australia, it's like fried egg, bunch of, you know, onions, you know, bunch of just a mixture of many vegetables. Fuck, you didn't put a mushroom in there. If you want to put a fucking mushroom on my hamburger, I'm happy to put a mushroom on my hamburger. That's fine. I'll accept that. But I love meat. Fuck, I love meat. Meat is my friend. Just to say, say fucking weird. Oh. But yeah, don't fuck with a man and his meat. That's pretty a statistical point of view. I'm going to agree with you, and I'm going to actually give you kudos for that one. Totally. Oh my god. I need a drink. No, I have... Oh, sorry, what am I saying? I need a drink. No, actually, you know what I need? You know what I actually need? I feel the need for weed. KFC's not bad. I've tried KFC. I don't know. It's always carbon copy stuff. Carbon copy stuff with KFC. I don't mind KFC. It's just, it's so carbon copy. Like, I can literally get some more spicy to, you know, add my own vegetables and stuff, and say you cook a chicken breast in the fry pan or whatever. And you can combine it with a few different vegetables and stuff, and I could do so much of a better job. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, KFC's stuff is nice, and I think they actually add some chemical components to it, firstly, to make it a bit more addictive. That's the truth when you do consume it. That's an American thing, isn't it? Like a mashed potato, macaroons, mashed potatoes, and chicken and biscuits. See, I've heard of some of these things. I have never tried them, and to be honest, I would like to come to America one day and actually try some of these particular dishes that I would say are more American orientated. If you are in America, I assume. If you're in America, that's my point. There's some dishes that I've seen, like there's like a Philly steak cheese. That's like, I know it's heart attack territory and it's high cholesterol. I really don't give a flying fuck. If I'm going to live, I'm going to live my own life and I'm going to die happy. Just saying. I'm going to die fucking happy, that's my point. Even if it's a little bit, you know, this is my point. I actually do pretty well because I've got natural herbal remedies that lower my cholesterol. And the last complaint my doctor has is like, oh, your cholesterol's slightly high. Yeah, I know. That's because I probably started smoking, dickhead. Have I ever tried lobster? I've tried crab. Yes, I think I did at one point. It was a long time ago, but I tried like an actual lobster. You break out the shell. But yeah, I did. A long time ago. Haven't had one for fucking years, so I would love to have one again. But I've not had one for fucking years. That's the truth. I've not had a fucking lobster for years. That's the truth. But I would, yeah, I would, yeah, definitely. I wouldn't have a problem with a lobster. Lobsters are nice. They're fucking expensive though. Depending on the restaurant you choose, fucking. It's ironic though. Most takeaway shops in Australia can cost you. I think see, this is my point. When I do spend money on takeaway, I spend at least $50 on takeaway food, like two, restaurant takeaway based food, at least $50. And I mean, at the end of it, that's just ironically how I am. I spend that much, or I have spent that much. Yeah, see, this is the thing. I don't have a problem with buying. See, I don't have a problem with buying food for friends. The only issue I get in the shits that I get is when I buy something from my friends. Like, I buy them lunch or something. And then it's like, oh, it's like, I'll say, it's all right, this is my shout this time. And then next time, they don't turn around and say, oh, it's my fucking shout now, man, I'll do it, it's fine, When they don't fucking turn around, that's just fucking rude. What the fuck? That's inconsiderate. There's no fucking manners involved. If I buy the first time, it's customary for the person in question that I've bought for to fucking, buy for me. Like, this it makes sense to me. Oh, yes, no, birthday celebrations I agree with. If it's the person's birthday, they get a customary they get a customary thing where it's like, oh, it's your birthday, okay, alright, no problem. I'll buy for you, man, it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. It's your fucking birthday. I get it, man, I understand. It's customary. It's just like, it's tradition, man. I get it, it's cool. I'm with this shit, man, I'm with this shit, yeah? But this is my point. I have had situations where I've shouted friends lunch so many fucking times, and I have got not even close to equal back the same amount of, like, them buying lunch for me at the same time. Like, that's my point. That's the shit that I don't fucking get. Like, so I bought you lunch 4 times, because I normally have a tendency to keep track of this shit, and you've bought me lunch, like, once or twice? Twice at max? I'm like, well, ain't you just a great friend? It's like, it's like, fuck, I have no issues with... Okay, I get people don't have money all the time. That's acceptable. I understand that. Sometimes people don't have all the money in the world. The other side of it, too, is people don't always, It's just tradition that, well, not tradition, but just a thing that people can't always afford it. I get that. I understand, because I've come from a low-income family, but... Oh my god, some of the people's like, oh, okay, hold on a fucking second. Hold on 2 fucking seconds. So you just scratch your head. It's like, okay, hold on a second. Let's work this out here. So, what you're saying is, in essence, and most of the time that when it comes to it, is pretty much every time that I talk to you, you're broke. I'm sort of, yeah, okay. Oh, I've had, okay, ironically, I've had, like, a few people ask me for money. Like $20 or something like that, and they never end up paying me back, because I know at this eventual point, it's like, oh no, like, I figured they'll never actually, I'll never end up getting that $20 back, so as soon as I learn the $20, like, I know that $20 is lost, it's like, fuck it, okay, fine. I get there's some friends like that, just as like, they're just not going to have the money, they're never going to have the money, and ultimately they're just going to be they're just those types of people in life. But then there's other people I've come across, as like, as I said, they've borrowed 200-something bucks from me. It's like, oh, that's cool, and they have paid me back. They have legitimately paid me back, not straight away, but they've taken their bit of time to do it. That's cool. I'm not going to pressure them to give it back to me, but eventually they do give it back to me. But I've had people of the opposite spectrum. It's like, I lend them like $20-30. It's like, it's like, okay, I'll lend you like $20. It's like, can I get that back? Really? No. Actually, I've had family like that too, but it doesn't matter with family. I don't really care. See, with family, it doesn't bother me as much about money, because I figure with family always stands by you. Well, that might be my personal experience. My family always stands by me. And from personal experience, if I loan my family money, it'll come back in some other way to benefit me, even if I don't get the money back. So, yeah. Well, that's how I see it anyway. And that's how it's always been a thing for me in life, I figure my family they don't necessarily give me back money, but they give me back certain things, whether it's they buy me a meal, or they help me out with something, or, they do something else for me, whether it's contributing to my life in some way. And the truth is, it's not always that, well, this is my point. With family, you don't always get it back in money form, but you get it back in an emotional love form as well, but you get it back in sometimes material good form as well, you know, depending on what you're doing. And it's because your family loves you so much, and they feel guilty because they've taken the $20 off of you that you end up it ends up being the upper situation, you know. And that's the thing. That's the reason that I love my family, because you know you do eventually get that stuff back in some form or another, and it's always been my attitude towards that type of stuff, to be honest. When it comes to family. When it comes to friends, it's a bit harder because, well, not all friends actually. I don't think all my friends are bad. I think it's just I've had a few. Your brother. Okay. Well, it's hard, man. See, I don't have a brother, I have a sister. But my sister's pretty good with finances. She's not stupid, put it this way. She knows how to manage her money. And she's always been pretty good with that. She's always never had a major issue with it. But if I had a brother or whatever, and I mean, it's different between brothers and sisters. Sisters, you know, sisters and girls tend to be a bit more, you know, tend to be a bit more manageable with that stuff. They tend to be a bit smarter about it, you know. My sister has always been the type of person that she tries to manage her money well. Not just that, but she makes sure that she has enough for given situations. On top of that, she's always, as long as I've known her, she's always had pretty good money management skills. Mine are not too bad. I mean, mine could be better. Mine are okay. As long as I have enough to do my bills and pay my stuff and everything else, I'm good. And I mean, if I can get some extra items and luxury items in between, that's cool. You know, and as long as if I can't manage my money, but I've had a few situations where I've been skimp, and I admit that. You know, I admit that. But the truth is, most of the time, I'm pretty balanced with how I try to get my money. And I try to be sensible about how I spend it too, you know, whether it's on games or whether it's on specific things that I want. And the truth is, my mind comes to this priority. You start with bills as your first priority when you're paying things. Bills are always the top notch. Bills, rent, anything of that association, you pay that first. Then after that comes luxury items, ladies and gentlemen. Booze, whatever, you know, a bit of weed if you want it. Games, for example. Any other luxury items. Now, if it's a business item, like a piece of equipment for IT or computers or something, that takes priority in certain. It doesn't take priority over bills because your bills need to be paid. But if you can save up the extra for the computer equipment, that takes priority after that. That comes after your luxury items. Like, I mean, for me, booze is a bit of a thing for me. But yeah, well, yeah, other things, but. This is my point. As long as you're smart about how you do it, you know, or smart about how you play the placement, not just the placement of your money, but how you handle your money. I mean, you can be a complete idiot about stupid things, you know. Like, I've bought some things that I've probably regretted buying in the past, and I don't do it all the time, but I admit that I've bought some things and I haven't needed to buy them. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, by the way. Thank you, man. I think I do reasonably good content. I'm not that bad. I don't think I'm that bad, anyway. It's the worst people out there, I guess. But, I mean, this is my point. We all live in different situations, and we all have different perceptions of what things are. And this includes family stuff as well. Like, I know my family's always been pretty good with how they treat me and you know, not just how they treat me, but they tend to be pretty relaxed
real messed up.
in their nature towards
No kidding.
things.
Oh my God!
And my nephews too, actually. My nephews and my nieces and stuff have the same attitude as I do, and that's what I like about, you know, having them around as much as I do. They tend to have a similar attitude towards things that I do, and that's why everyone in my family. The only thing I will not condone, though, I will not condone somebody turning me against my family. If you try to turn me against my family, then I will get pissed off and I might arch up my back at you, and I will definitely get the shits with you. And that's the thing. I try to be the best. Damn, I swear, I try to be the best person I can be. I really do. But I mean, there's going to be times where I act like an evil, not an evil, but an asshole because we're all entitled to it. Here's the thing, different people, different situations. Some people can get into a confrontation, some people can't. I have never had a problem with being able to get into, like, if there's a situation where it requires me to get into a confrontation with someone, I don't have a problem with doing it. That's the thing. My nephews, on the other hand, they tend to avoid confrontation with people. And certain parts of my... Oh, actually, no, my dad. So that's my sister. My sister's well, my sister just showed me the face. That's the truth. It's pretty common. Actually, I've probably learned some decisions out of my sister and my dad. And my mum a little bit more... But my mum was more like psychotic. When she gets... I'm probably a little bit like my mum in that respect. I go a little psychotic. But I mean, it's not a bad psychotic. I mean, I yell, I scream, I get the shits. I've been known to smash a couple of things once or twice, but you know what? I've never. That's not something that always do. And the thing is, I've rarely done that these days. Like I might punch a desk or punch a counter or something like that, and things like that. And it's like, and then I end up feeling guilty afterwards. Like, oh fuck, I'm so sorry. I actually thought I didn't do the way I did. It was just my feelings at the time, and I was really feeling highly emotional, and it was just like, I wanted to fucking, I just wanted to punch something. So, you know, the counter or the desk or the emotional scene, shit, man. Holy crap, I can't believe that my stuff is actually working quite well. I can't believe, because I was getting lag issues with my stream, not my streaming actually, it wasn't the streaming I was getting lag issues with, what was it? I was getting fucking issues before with my fucking, my capture device, which was driving me potty earlier. Anyway, another point, no, alright. See, this whole entire stream has gone from different things. I've covered a myriad of different subjects in this entire stream. I mean, if you were to watch it in its entirety, let's see, I've covered, wow, what have I covered? I've covered from emotional situations to the fact that my mum died 10 to 11 years ago now of cancer. I covered that earlier. I said, you know, like how much negative shit I've had to endure. The fact that I have schizophrenia and you know, the conditions that I have, and I've expressed how it affects me on a daily basis. And not just that, you know, I've covered the fact that, you know, my life isn't perfect. That's one part of it. But I've also covered the fact that, I like to see good and bad. It's weird. It's weird, and it depends on my frame of mind. See, sometimes I feel like seeking wrath on people and fucking with people and trolling, and then other times it's the total opposite, where you know, I don't fucking think that person ultimately deserves to make a step. Well, I mean, again, step back in those situations. Like, okay, maybe I was harsh on that person. Maybe I should reconsider my actions. Maybe I should have taken some adjustments to my behaviour. You don't agree with that. It's I was probably inappropriate what I was saying at the time, or perhaps it's just at the time I was in a bad mood and I had a bad emotional state of mind, and it was ultimately adding to me as a person. It was ultimately screwing with my head, and I guess to some degree it compounded itself. And I, at the end of it, I considered my behaviour and I went overboard. And I admit there's sometimes where I've gone overboard. There's actually, that's the situations where that's happened. I'm not going to say in every situation that I've been overboard, but I've also learned there are certain situations in my life where I've been quite right about what's next for me, whether it's emotional manipulation in my life, or whether it's other things that I've done. And I've learned so much. I mean, I've learned so much from being on the internet, but not just that, but I've learned so much from real life as well. I've learned that there's always going to be people who come at you with that stuff. And there's always going to be people who make you feel a particular way, or trash you, or trash talk you, or make you feel like you're worthless, or make you feel like you're shit, when in fact you're not shit. It's just the fact that maybe perhaps you're a human being who, you know, inherently you have a lot of emotional expression, but sometimes you express it the wrong way. You express it in a negative pattern of behaviour. And you ultimately hand it out to people. It's like, oh shit, okay, that's okay. I'm thinking here. Maybe I should have reconsidered that, because that was probably not the most appropriate course of action to start with. Like, that was the most ultimate thing that, I mean, you know, I know for me as a personal experience, as somebody who gets a bit drunk and stoned and stuff, that I've found situations where you've considered what you've done after you've had a cup, after you've woken up the next morning and got sober, and you're like, oh, okay, I fucked with that person, and I know I did, and you sort of think, oh, okay, alright, I fucked with that person, that wasn't right, okay, and not just that, but I did it in the wrong way. I used the most inappropriate point of view, not just that, but I fucked with them, and I shouldn't have, not just that, but maybe I said things that weren't necessarily true just to hurt them emotionally, because I wanted them to feel the emotional pain that I felt. And the truth is, there's so many situations like that in life. And because of, I mean, as somebody with a psychological illness, I'm going to say that inherently, you interpret and misinterpret certain things that you do when you're feeling a particular way. If you're feeling a particular way, it'll influence your behaviour to some degree when you've had alcoholic beverages or otherwise, or things of that nature. It'll make you want to do things that you don't necessarily want to... No. It'll make you want to do things and just not give a fuck about the consequences at the time. And what ultimately happens after that is that you think, oh, okay, alright, there is going to be consequences for these actions. I realise this is going to happen. I mean, what the fuck, you know... It's kind of a scratch my head type situation, you know, like... At the time, you think, fuck, I'm doing well, no, I'm not, you know, and then you're back and forth between it. And I think that's the main problem. Like, with psychological illnesses, they can be so dependent on your attitude, your perception of what's coming into you. See, I think there's certain situations where people have got drunk in their life, and they've ultimately said, okay, hold on a second, oh, you know, maybe I misinterpreted or misunderstood what that person was saying. And the truth is, especially with Asperger's and stuff like that, it's easy to misinterpret the world, and easy to misinterpret people's behaviour. And I just spat all over the place. It's so easy to misinterpret. And because of the experience that I've had with misinterpretation through my life, I've come to a conclusion in the long run that it's better to try and give a bit more understanding to people, especially these days. Because it builds your character, it builds your strength, it builds your inner core emotional strength as well, as a person, to do that. Just like something I've learned anyway, but yeah. I don't know. My perspective, my point, anyway. Hold on a second, I'll be right back. Right, okay. Alright, I'm back. Oh my god. Look at this fucking clown ass shit. I'm a clown. I'm a giant clown. So ironically, people though, all the trolling groups have called me a psychotic clown, apparently. John Wayne Gacy, apparently. That's what I look like. It's funny though that I've done a couple of trolling videos on some of my fake accounts, and it's been the opposite. Like, I've actually talked about a lot of the stuff that I've been talking about. The stuff that I talk about on my YouTube and when I'm doing trolling are totally two different things. I tend to go the opposite, and I tend to go negative when I'm doing trolling, and it's sort of a switch between the two. Now the truth is, I don't go out to bully people when I'm trolling. I go out to pretend to be a serial killer and pretend to be fucking scary. That's one side of it. And that's mostly what I do with some of my trolling stuff that I've ever done. It's more just to scare people and see what people's reactions are when I do scare them. You know, I talk about those types of things. And it's ironic though that I do that, and I do it as much as I do. It's a mixture of that behaviour that sort of gets people confused as to whether I'm actually putting on act or I'm being serious. It's hard to interpret. On top of that, sometimes drinking helps too. See, the weird part is it depends on, I guess, how you look at it. Like, some people can be really negative, some people can be really good. I don't know, negative, positive. It's sort of a verse. I mean, you know, look, at the end of it, the truth is, if I ever wanted to hack anybody, that's not an issue. I can do it. I'm not incapable of doing it. But whenever I've talked about that type of stuff, the only reason that I've ever talked about it the way I do is, I guess it's because people do feel a bit more threatened about people who do that type of stuff these days. Because of how much information... Look, let's be honest. As an IT person and also a cybersecurity enthusiast, it is so much more easier to hack information in certain ways. Whether it's... Well, it's not easy. I mean, fuck, let's be honest. Hacking isn't easy. Well, it's easy depending on your level of experience. If your level of experience is low, it's going to be difficult at first. I mean, unless you have a natural talent for it. And then as you work your way up, it's only going to be, you know, ultimately easier. In the long run, I've learned that most people are scared of information that is exposed about them. It's because they think that it exposes their deepest, darkest inner secrets, because that's the truth. Most people have put things on the web that they probably regret. I mean, everything that I've ever put on the web, I remember a damn good percentage of it, and most of it, some of it was just me playing with people, I guess, to a certain extent, to see exactly what reaction I get out of them. Because the truth is, I wanted to see if they'd actually react or if they didn't. And the other side of it too is there's information that nobody will ever know, because it's information that I've completely got rid of, you know. And the truth is, it's so easy for people to feel like they don't have any privacy or they don't have any safety, you know. But as somebody who's a paranoid schizophrenic, I've felt threatened my entire life, simply because I'm schizophrenic. Like, well, not just that, but simply because I'm crazy and I always believe there's out someone. There was always somebody out there to kill you. Like, there's always somebody who's ready to come after you or might want to kill you. And my appropriate response to that has always been to protect myself and always have protection mechanisms in place to make sure that I'm well protected. Not just that, but I'm well placed in that, you know? I don't know. I don't claim to know everything, and I never did, but, you know, we as a society, we do get scared of that stuff, and we get scared of the exposure of our privacy, or things that we want to do, or exposure of who we are as a person. And you know what? Sometimes it's okay to let yourself out into the world and show the world that you can be vulnerable, show you the world that you can be all pure and honest, and not just that, but you can show the world that you can be you as well. And you know, it's all part of it all, you know, it's all one big part of each other. And yeah, it's always about that, isn't it? It's always about what can be perceived and what is not perceived, you know. And the world is crazy, but the world's also lovely at the same time, you know. It's not all bad. Shit. Fuck's my icon. Sorry, I was just checking on Skype if anybody was online. A major issue though. Yeah. Oh my god. I don't know, as I said, people deserve my wrath sometimes, but you know what? It's certain degrees of wrath. On top of that, if I felt somebody was really being a fucking asshole, I wouldn't have a problem going after them. But it's specific people that I have to... This is my point. It's specific people that I would target, and it's only certain groups, like especially douchebaggish asshole motherfuckers who think that... Not just, you know, they think that bullying and, you know, fucking with people to a certain extent, it's, you know, and intimidation to that degree is actually the only way that they can handle things. Not just that, but, you know, this is my point. You'd want to teach them a lesson. You'd want to add back to them. You want to give back to their fucking shit. You know, like, show them that, you know, there are parts of the world that do fight back. There are parts of the world that actually come at people, you know? And, you know, Sometimes justice is not a bad thing. I think justice is sort of the worst thing either. Justice can be a burning flame in the night, really. Of honesty, integrity, and truth. Indeed. Indeed. I don't know. I try to keep myself grounded for my policy. I don't know. I try to be the best person I can be. But I'm far from perfect. I've made mistakes. I've probably annoyed some people that I shouldn't have. I've probably done some bad things from time to time. But there's legitimately people who've deserved the actions, not just the actions, but the things that I've said to them. They've actually absolutely deserved what I've said to them. Not just that, but they've absolutely deserved the treatment that I've given them. And, you know, it's not as if it's everybody, but it's definitely some people. Definitely some. Not all, just some. Justifiable actions. I'll still try to justify something. Try to justify some of my actions. It's all good, man. Pretty happy though. I'm pretty happy with where my life is. Probably the most things that I need in my life, and probably at this point, is a bit more money so I can expand upon the things that I want to do and I enjoy. It's like a combination of that, so. I would say, primarily. Justifiable homicide. I like that. It's like, you know, like they should make that a law. Justifiable homicide. This sort of cracks me up though. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, wrong site. Oops. Okay, sorry. I'm logged into one of my data accounts just to see what somebody's actually saying on one of the other groups I'm in. I have like a whole specific profile for actual trolling. Not just that, but I have a couple of other profiles too. It's quite funny to see what I can do with them. Cracks me out. Though I wouldn't necessarily show that stuff on here because it may give me questionable, because of the advertising factors and everything else, it may give me questionable moral, ethical points. Not that I think, I mean, okay, some of mine are questionable, I guess, but I love the shit that this woman comes up with. Girl after man. Sorry, I just, yeah, I'm flirting as well as trolling. Maybe. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna admit that I am flirting in combination of trolling, so yeah. Jesus Christ, superstar, bitch. What? Ah, what the hell am I even talking about? Creativity, people, creativity. Oh, God. Mark Mitchell, so do we fucking comment on that? Oops. Oh my god. My spelling, my goddamn. Wow, that's a typo. Okay, sorry, parents. Oh, okay, it's a different person. Okay, oh, wow. Speaking the English. Never mind, I'll go back to that. Maybe drunk, maybe slowly, just a little bit. Little less conversation, a little more action in me. One of my groups. Where the fuck? Oops, there we go. Okay, so I'm supposed to be watching a live video, but it's not showing up. Alright. Okay, sorry, I'm just listening to this live video. It's gonna be. How the fuck am I not commenting on this shit? Oh, there we go, never mind. Yep. Interesting. It's alright, now I know I'm gonna put this. Okay, sorry, I'm actually just. Oh, that's hilarious. The video's completely blank, the audio's not. What the fuck? My freaking god. Oh my fucking god, seriously. That's hilarious. Smoking. I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. What the fuck? It's still charging. Okay, let's check this out. But no, thank you. Alright, all good. Lovely. Lovely indeed. Money penny. Money penny. Okay, hold on. Some of these people are interesting. Hold on a second, this is, sorry, the trolling group is not acting up a bit, but they're like, oh. Alright, okay, alright, fuck it. Okay, I'm gonna go off for a little bit, because I want to go and see what this trolling group is doing at the moment, because it's interesting some of the stuff they're getting up to, they're being funny about it. So I will be back. I will be back a little bit later, maybe, depending on my mood. I have been doing streaming for a fair few hours now, so it's all good. Alright, catch ya. Bye.